Happy Crimson Tuesday. Good to see you, Maximus. Yeah, welcome to Daylight Savings Time, soon to be permanent, it seems. Yeah, I've been hearing stuff like that are coming round. So I guess, I don't know would it, would Eastern Daylight Savings Time be called EDT forever? Grindislav, happy Crimson Tuesday, good to see you. Goman Sama, hello, hello, hello. Happy Crimson Tuesday. Of course, Grindislav is Francisco Gonzalez, currently working on Rosewater, and streams on Twitch tomorrow at Wild West Wednesdays. Francisco, do you know what you're streaming tomorrow? If you're streaming tomorrow, are you still working on a background? I can't remember. I love your animated emojis. US is about to vote for all year DST from 2023. I think Canada will probably follow along with that. Yeah, every year or every 6 months this comes around, people talk about it, and maybe it'll stick this time. Okay, so Grandstuff, finish the background. Probably we'll do another one. Nice. Deluxe Tux, good to see you. Happy Crimson Tuesday. It's an art stream. I said that it wasn't going to be, but it is. So I'm sure that's fine with everybody. I hope. But yeah, today we're going to continue work on the pixelated bucket. I've been working on the Crimson Gazette today, and I'll be sending that out tomorrow. As usual, it's mid month every month. I have a newsletter that you can subscribe to that right on crimsondiamond.com, which actually I should put the link. Yeah, if you go, oh no, that's not the right one. Oh no. I don't remember what the proper link was to get to my website. But anyway, if you Google the Crimson Diamond, you'll find the crimsondiamond.com, and you can subscribe to the newsletter, so you can get it to your email box directly. Or when I post it to the site and I say on Twitter that I did it and stuff. And usually it's like whatever stuff I've been up to, like links to streams and a rock fact and updates on my crafting and stuff that I like to do, and a developer update. Which if you're coming to streams, you pretty much know all the stuff. Although I don't tell you the rock fact here. So you'd have to read it on the devlog. It's not out yet. I'll send it out tomorrow, and then you can see. Just recently, there was a report of 16 quadrillion tons of diamonds discovered on a planet. So that's kind of exciting, and that's what the rock fact is this month. You'll have to read it to learn more. And but I will be showing the cross stitching that I've been working on, and developer update, of course. Developer update is thanks to Grindislav and also Dual Names, who is Grindislav, of course, yeah, at Lamplight City, AGS, Adventure Game Studio developer. Dual Names, also AGS developer. Primordia, made Primordia and made Strangeland, which is currently out. They both were super encouraging and helpful for me to kind of overhaul my code and take more advantage of the modules that Adventure Game Studio has set up. And that's been really good, because it means that that everything is more modular and easier to troubleshoot and all that stuff. And so I've just been testing the game, and I broke a bunch of stuff while I did that, and so I'm refixing those things. But going forward, it's definitely a good thing to have. Piojo Exalt, good. Welcome to chat. Welcome to stream. You're asking me who am I, which is a good lead in to me introducing myself. I am Julia Minamata. I'm a game developer. I'm working on the Crimson Diamond, which is a text parser mystery adventure game set in Canada, and I'm doing everything in it except for the music. Dan Polakar is the musician who is making the music for it, and we stream with music as well. Sometimes it hasn't been kind of ever. There's kind of been more irregular recently, but we tend to do music streams every other stream if we can, and Dan will compose a track from beginning to end, pretty much, from some vague directions that I tend to give him, and with a lot of help with chat and feedback from chat. Yes, Eating With, welcome to another pixel pushing day. I thought you were going to be out today. Did I hear something wrong? No, you totally heard the right thing. Yeah, I just was mentioning Eating With. I said I wasn't going to be streaming this week, but then something changed, and then I can now. So yes, that's why I'm here today. And Dan can't today, and that's why it's going to be an art stream. But yes, no, you're totally right. You heard correctly. But yeah, so fortunately that's happening. Tonight we're also going to be, because it's an art stream night, we're going to be doing starting my new Let's Play, which is, as I mentioned before, I decided I'm not going to play the second half of the last half of Darkness, the first game, because while I can say that I do have the disc for the first part of Last Half of Darkness, I don't actually own the second one legitimately. And I feel like the gameplay and the art and stuff, I have a pretty good idea of what that looks like now. And so I don't really feel the need to continue playing that one. I'd much rather move on to something else. And that something else is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, the EGA version, which I have never played before, so I'm kind of excited about that. Piojo Exile asks, am I from the USA? I am not from the USA. I am Canadian. I'm in Toronto, Ontario. And my game is also, it's set in Northern Ontario, in a ghost town in a place called Crimson, Ontario. But yeah, the EGA-ness of the Last Crusade. Oh yeah, I have a link to Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is available. It's available on. How did that not work? Yes, it did work. Okay. Indiana Jones, the adventure game, there's been a few games called Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, but the adventure game is available on Steam and it's available on GOG. And I bought it, so I do have it, but I will be playing the EGA version, which is not the version on Steam and not the version on itch.io. I mean, on GOG. But for artistic purposes, I prefer to play the EGA versions of games, and I love to kind of look at the screens and kind of dissect them and to not critique. I wouldn't say critique, but I love to learn more things that I can incorporate into my own EGA game. So we're going to play the EGA version. And even more fun, I believe it's the EGA version is the first one that came out, and it came out in 1989, which is the same year that Last Half of Darkness came out, which is the same year as Personal Nightmare came out. So all three of the Let's Plays that I've decided to do have all been games that launched in 1989. Deluxe Tuck says, not too late to hook up an MT32 and a keyboard to give the whole music stream thing a go. Yeah, Dan makes it look so easy. How hard could it be? I know. Dan makes it look incredibly easy to make the music because he's super crazy fast at it, which is really an advantage for streaming. It's wonderful. Judith Butler's Lover, what is this madness? An early stream? Scandalous? It is not an early stream, Judith Butler's Lover. It is the same time as it always is, although we did do daylight savings. So, yeah, I'm not sure what part, if your part of the world does the daylight savings. Hey, Bill Kuhn, good to see you. Bill Kuhn says, sorry I'm a few minutes late. Just got out of a really powerful book discussion on Tuck Everlasting, one of the top 6 books I've ever read. Bill Kuhn, I remember starting to read Tuck Everlasting, but I don't think I ended up finishing it. I don't even know why I didn't. Oh, you don't do that. Okay, you don't do daylight savings. Okay, so Judith Butler's Lover, we're the ones who have changed things, not you. Yeah, yeah. U.S. and Canada do it a few weeks earlier than most of Europe. Yes, Jeffy. Yep. Daylight savings time causes mass confusion around the globe every year. But yeah, so we do this in Ontario. But yeah, it is confusing. I'm just really glad that nowadays, like my phone and my computer and even my watch, they all adjust automatically, so I don't even have to think about it. But yeah, so I'm going to be playing Last Crusade later on, but today we're going to be working more on the bucket. The bucket. And I couldn't find the old bucket that I was looking at last stream because I'm so well organized, but we're going to I've called up a few other buckets. They pretty much all look the same, and I'll be working from that. And let's see what else. Oh yeah, one more thing. A few more things. Oh, you do it, but you call it something else. What do you call it, Judith Butler's Lover? Daylight savings time. And Judith Butler's Lover, I will run the trailer real soon. But first thing I want to do before I forget is there's 2 days left on itch.io's Ukraine bundle. I think the bundle's at $5 million right now or something. And it's got more than 900 games in it. So it's an incredible deal. If you want to get in on that, I heartily recommend it. It's the deal. It's a steal of a deal. Amberzine, good to see you. Maximus said Countdown to Adventure X, they announced it. Yes, I saw that on Twitter. I went to Adventure X in 2019 at the British Library. And it's a wonderful event. I got to meet a bunch of devs, especially European devs. I got to meet the developer of Inspector Waffles, and I got to do a piece of pixel art for Inspector Waffles. And Backbone, which was also showing at Adventure X in 2019, is in the Ukraine bundle for Itch.io. So if you were ever interested in Backbone, it's a gorgeous adventure game set in Canada, set in BC, actually, British Columbia. So I would recommend, if you were interested in playing Backbone, you can get Backbone plus 900 plus other things for, I think it's like $15, 10 or $15. No. Yes, go on Summer. There's a lot of gems in that bundle. Oh, Judith Butler's Lover, you just call it changing of the clock. I like that. That's all it is, changing the clock. No daylight saved. Yeah. What else? What else have I got before I get started? Oh yeah. So there's another thing I want to talk about briefly that just launched. That was an EGA text parser game. That is free. Speaking of deals, Tachyon Dreams 2 by Cosmic Void. Cosmic Void 3 in chat actually released Tachyon Dreams 2, which is completely free. It's an EGA text parser game that looks like Sierra kind of AGI engine games. And I got to play the first one, and it's a lot of fun. It's like a quick little like a snippet of a game. And if you like text parser adventure games, if you love EGA like I do, please do check it out. What else have we got? I think that's... Oh, yeah, and Nightbot has perfect timing. It just put the same link down. But yeah. But yes, game, run the trailer. I'm going to run the trailer, then I'm going to show my cross stitch, and we're going to just dive right into the bucket, the close-up of the bucket. Yes, so the Crimson Diamond is a text parser game, but it does have graphics. It does have this EGA, the 16-color palette that we'll be working with today. You'll see it when I open up Photoshop. And if you've never played a text parser game before, you'll see in the trailer what that looks like. And I think it's the style of game that hopefully people, if you're not familiar with it, you might be willing to give it a try. The demo that is on Steam and on Itch.io right now does have a tutorial room, which can lead you through the most basic parser commands that you might have to use to play the game. Although you will need to use more than is taught there. But yeah, it's my favorite type of player interface, and I hope if you've never played that kind of style before to give it a shot and tell me what you think. Yes. Bucket list. And there's no music. I put the music on, but I guess it's super low. But I will pump that up. And oh yeah, speaking of music, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade has wonderful music, and hopefully we can hear it properly without at an appropriate level. Yes. Trailer. Yes. We're gonna do the trailer. Hopefully you can hear the music better now because I've kind of pumped it up, but I can pump it up more on my end too. Okay. As soon as I've done that, I'm now going to turn it off or put it on pause because I'm going to run the trailer, and you can see this game that I am working, be testing this week, and hopefully I'll be getting back into developing more Chapter 5 this week after I fix everything I broke by improving the game, which it really was. I'm glad I did it. Okie dokie, here we go.
Crimson, Ontario was once a prosperous, lively mining town. But that was a long time ago. Now it's quiet, nearly deserted, and some folks aim to keep it that way. Nancy Maple is an aspiring mineralogist assigned to follow the trail of a dazzling diamond. An intriguing cast of characters has converged under one roof, each meaning to get their own way. Or else. Will Nancy untangle the mysteries and machinations before it's too late? Will the sleepy town of Crimson shine once more? Find out in The Crimson Diamond, an upcoming adventure game by Julia Minamata. The Crimson Diamond demo is available on Steam and Itch.io for Windows PC and Mac OS.
All right, there we are. That is the Crimson Diamond as it is. Chapter 1. The Chapter 1 of the game is the demo that you can get on Steam and on Itch.io. You can't actually, like the trailer shows, walking outside by a river and there's a boathouse. You can't go to any of those places in the trailer. I mean, in the demo. You're just in the lodge, and you get to explore all the rooms in the lodge and talk to all the characters. But yeah, Chapter 2 is is more exploration. And I kind of did that intentionally because I wanted people to get to look forward to new areas of the game, so you don't get to see everything all at once. Okay, I will turn the music back on because I do forget that. And let us head over to Photoshop. Give me 1 second. Okay, Photoshop is on. I realized with this bucket that I have, apparently a lot of these types of metal galvanized steel buckets with the metal handle, their handles are actually quite short. So I actually have this better version. This is basically exactly the kind of bucket the red one is, where the bucket handle is longer, but a lot of times the bucket handle is such that it doesn't swing down past the opening, and that's how short the actual handle is. But I do like that longer bucket handle, so that's what we're going to be doing today. The red one is definitely more the shape and the style that I'm looking for, but it's not the right finish. And this is the EGA palette I've got here, these wonderful 16 colors. That is the only palette that we have to our disposal right now. And then here's Photoshop trying to be helpful when I don't want it to be helpful. Getting a handle, yes, we're going to get a handle on this bucket eventually. I think I'm still going to work a little bit on, actually maybe we will do that next. But I might want to just figure out some of this, the rendering part. And this is the scene that we will be working toward. So this is what it should look like eventually. Yes, the red bucket actually I think is a toy. And it does look like it's ready to make some sandcastles. Okay, this is the eventual sequence that we're going to be animating. So there's a few things that you need to keep in mind. Timeline. Right. It's pretty simple. We're going to have a bucket and then a fish going into the bucket. So that's all we need to do with this one. So hopefully it's not going to take too long. But of course, because this view is much more closer up in detail than a lot of the stuff we've been doing. So this piece here is the one we were just working on in the more recent art streams. This was animated. And this was pretty detailed. But when you go into more a closer up type of shot, a lot more detail is demanded of even simpler shapes, so it won't take not a long time, but hopefully will take a bit less time than something as complicated as an entire scene. Squaff, welcome to chat. Squaff asks, where have you found the most success at getting the word out about your game? I would say it kind of depends on what you mean by the word out about the game. If it's about like wish lists and getting people to wish list the game, I found like Steam festivals like Steam Next Fest and Adventure, the Big Adventure event. Those types of things that are events that are run on Steam by publishers and stuff. I've found the greatest bump in my wish lists have come from stuff like that. So that would be the most effective way, I think. In terms of like social media, I would say that the most success I've had getting word out from any social media stuff is Twitter. I think Twitter is probably the place where game developers, the social media platform of choice for game developers. Let's see. Yes, Maximus just says, perhaps I'm a bit skewed, but the bucket looks a bit too perfect right now, slightly out of place with the rest of the graphics. Yes, all that stuff, some stuff like dents and scratches and things to make it more weathered are all things that we will be doing in time, definitely. I totally agree with you. And the thing is we're going to get this good shape, basic shape down first, and then we're going to add personality to it. In fact, on Twitter, speaking of Twitter, I saw these wonderful screenshots that someone shared of another EGA game, and I loved how the rugs, the big carpets that were laid down in the rooms were not perfect. They actually had parts where they were kind of uneven and coming up off of the floor and casting a shadow on the floorboards underneath, and I found that really appealing, and it makes me want to add a bit more texture and stuff to my carpets. Some of the areas of my carpets have like worn areas, and they're not totally perfect, but I love the idea that it's kind of buckling up off the floor. Oh, you're welcome, Scoff. Have you any questions about like developing Crimson Diamond or game development in general? I'm more than happy to answer if I can. Ah, Judith Butler's Lover says, completely unrelated, I just finished Hollow Knight today and it's shockingly good. Not EGA Julia, but great color schemes on all levels. Wonderful. Hollow Knight. See, I've been really confusing Hollow Knight for Shovel Knight. I don't think they're anything alike. And where's my Wacom stylus? Oh my goodness. Okay, one moment. I'm just gonna get my Wacom stylus. Be right back. Okay. Right. Sorry about that. Okay. Ah! Cosmo 43, yes, the clock has moved. Yes, Judith Butler's Lover said the exact same thing. Were we an hour early? No, our clocks have moved. In some parts of the world, the clock has moved. Yes, Squawks, yes, they have night in their titles. That's half of their titles being exactly the same. Yeah, I don't play a lot of games, and so yeah, I tend to get easily confused. Yes, Daylight Savings Time takes no prisoners. In fact, now that Cosmic Void 3 is here, I want to quickly do something. Control tab. As I mentioned, Cosmic Void 3 has just released a new EGA text parser game called Tachyon Dreams 2, and its subtitle is, or whatever that is, tagline, The Bloated Can of Space Root Beer. And here are some screens for it. And Tachyon Dreams 2 is free on itch.io. I love this double wide Sierra style of graphics. I love it so much. And you've done a wonderful Cosmic Void 3, you've done a wonderful job on this. I love the colors. I love how you used the brown for the beach, because we all know, stuff like King's Quest 4, when you have a beach, and a lot of games in EGA that have a beach, the beach is yellow because they say, people say sand is yellow, but I think the brown is a really nice choice for this. Judith Butler's Lover says, as for Hollow Knight and Shovel Knight, they're both knights that fight at night in a world where end is nigh. And so I just grabbed the screenshots from the itch.io page, and they do look a lot. Some people on Twitter mentioned that this game looks a lot like the early Space Quest games, and it definitely does. Especially something like this. The temple screen. It looks like. Are you meaning the temple screen of the first Tachyon Dreams game? Oh, this one, this temple. This is the temple screenshot. I think you mean. The lighting, I think, also not only just machinery, but the way the lighting is done is kind of otherworldly, which is definitely something Space Quest did very well. This is wonderful, 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 wonderful. Yes, Judith Butler's Lover said, yeah, thought this was Space Quest. You're not alone, JBL, because a lot of people felt that way. I love the shadow that you're getting here. So you've got these black trees here in the foreground, or near the foreground, and how one side of them is that cool rimlet with a cool color, and the other side is rimlet with the brown, which gives this wonderful dimensional quality that's showing where the light is. Wow, the game has hair physics like the first installment. I didn't even realize that the first one had hair physics. And yeah, so Cosmic Void 3, obviously a huge fan of Space Quest, and this is definitely the intention. And this does look like the Space Quest where Roger is stranded on the forested land. Wonderful. Yeah, oh, play it yourself to see that walk cycle in action. Fantastic. Yeah, I did play the first one. Tachyon Dreams 1 and Tachyon Dreams 2 both are free on itch.io. But yes, absolutely, if you can support the developers on these are like passion projects. I love to see people just making things with this palette, and that's probably why for my Let's Plays, I probably will be sticking with EGA games, not just games from 1989, because I think even still I probably could do that for quite a bit, but EGA games, just to see how people do things, because people, even if it's a limited palette, even if it's a low resolution, there's different styles, and you can really see that. Edmund Detour, good to see you. Yeah, we're just talking about wonderful Tachyon Dreams 2, which just came out. But we will go back to our bucket. Let's see. Okay. We're back to bucket mode. And I will be making this look more natural. And yeah, we will be dealing with the grass, because that's definitely not working either. One thing at a time. And the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to finish out some of this bucket detail, and some of the lighting and the shadow potentially, and then we'll get in and we're going to put some dings and scratches and make it look as real as the resolution and the palette will allow. Yes, Cosmic43 said this is going to be the most detailed bucket ever done in EGA. The Colonel's Bequest has a close-up of the bucket in the well, I think, and I should be looking at that as a reference too. The color choices that the Colonel's Bequest makes are really novel, and they're kind of unexpected in a wonderful way. Douglas Herring doesn't just use these gray colors to render metal. The opening scene in Colonel's Bequest with the copy protection with the magnifying glass, it has these beautiful shades of the cyan colors, the dark and light cyan, and even touches of green and brown. It's wonderful. He did such a good job. But yeah, I'm just gonna freehand this. It's not too important to get this perfect. And we'll need an equally detailed fish. Yes, that's another issue. I've got actually a 3D reference that I'll be using, which I will show you guys in a little bit. But yes, grass is hard because from the distance it looks green, but when you're up close it's mostly not green. Yeah, you can see dirt and discoloration and stuff. But we're not even going to worry about that. We might not even get to the grass today. So, we will see. But this is great because we're slowly stitching these scenes together, which is kind of a nice feeling. Yes, we don't want the uncanny, unbuckety valley. This is going to be a fine time. And looking at the bucket, so the bucket reference I do have will be helpful in showing how the lighting will be treated on this. When there's a rim that exceeds an area and then it turns, you see, so there's a part that does get shadow in there too. So I need to think about all that. But yes, I have a lovely fish reference that I will partially be using for this. Okay. And then after I connect the fisherman in the river scene, I may ask again for viewer's choice. Oh, wow, someone's just trying to connect to this iPad with AirPods. Oh, go away. And yes, Nightbot with the links. I mentioned earlier that the Crimson Gazette for the month of March will be coming out probably tomorrow. One of the things that will be on it is that the Talking to Women About Video Games podcast that I was on with host Jonathan Holmes interviewing me, and that was a really good conversation. That was in 2 parts. The second part did come out like late February, but because I come out with each episode mid month, then it got missed last month's Gazette. So you can and links, of course, links to everything like the podcast stuff I've been on and stuff like that. All that is on the site too. Oh, Judith Butler's Lover, I'm glad you listened to both parts. That you liked it. Yeah, it was a really good conversation. And what's cool is that Jonathan, I believe, also went to art college, so we kind of could relate on that level as well. And he does put out a magazine that I think is print on demand, possibly a magazine called Nintendo Force. And he gets to use a lot of his art skills on that, which is wonderful. It's kind of awesome. I did not explain what an MT32 was, Judith Butler's lover said, but other than that, it was great. I still don't know what an MT32 is, and I definitely don't need one of my own. That's all I know about an MT32 is I don't need one. Dan has two, I believe, and one that doesn't work. Yes, MT32, just as Jeffrey says, is a magic music box for DOS games. Yes, it is. And yeah, I've got the Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. It first came out in 1989, so I don't know what music synthesizer it's using. Oh yes, that's right. Okay, Judith Butler's lover. Judith Butler's lover just listened to the episodes and has a better memory than me. Obviously, says that yeah, Jonathan of Talking to Women About Video Games said he did go to art college. You talked about it when you were discussing being a freelance illustrator, and he was in perpetual shock that your work didn't get you constant employment. Okay, so yes, thank you for the refresher, Judith Butler's lover. Yeah, that was really nice because honestly, the idea that my illustrations were too perfect for people to want to have them had never crossed my mind, and I think for pretty obvious reasons. Like I certainly wouldn't entertain that thought on my own. And for anyone, who did miss that podcast or doesn't have time to listen to it, really briefly, I talk about how I started becoming a game developer slowly over time as my freelance illustration work became more and more rare, and never really being able to ever really support myself with it, having graduated from college with a degree in illustration and trying my darndest for 10 years to make a career out of illustration, and not being able to, and not really knowing why I couldn't, and coming up with the usual things. Well, maybe I didn't market properly, and maybe I didn't network properly. Maybe I should have gone to New York and dropped my portfolio off, at all the big publications. I did email my portfolio, and I would send out postcards and things, but I never did portfolio drop off in person. I don't even know if they do that anymore. Two, of course, well, maybe the work just isn't very good, and that's why I haven't gotten work from this. And I still don't know why I couldn't make it as an illustrator. I think it's a pretty tough go in the first place. There's not a lot of people that can make a living doing it, but I thought I'd give it a try, certainly. But as I didn't get a lot of work from it, I started to work on my game stuff more, just for fun. Okay, Justice Jeffrey says, I think Indie supports MT32, AdLib, CMS, Tandy, etc. The one I'm playing, Justice Jeffrey, is EGA, so I don't know if what it's supporting exactly. Oh, okay. Monkey Island supports those, but the Last Crusade box is only AdLib. Okay. Maximus says, when I was a student, I emailed my CV and some code I wrote to all big gaming companies. No one replied. I did. I sent. When I was in college, I applied to internships and stuff at Lucasfilm or LucasArts, but I did not get that either. Yeah, exactly, their loss, Maximus. Oh. Okay, coming next. I kind of did like my old bucket that I don't have the reference for anymore because it did give me more accurate light and shadow than I think I would have appreciated. But this is fine too. Yeah, we'll start our own LucasArts. Yes, Jessica Jeffy. Masuma says game dev as a side gig is more fun anyway. I'm hoping to make game dev my main gig. We'll see how that works out. This bucket will have a lot to do with that. The game's success lives and dies on this bucket. Yes, Cosmo 43 also does game dev as a side gig, and which is probably the wise choice. I'm always this foolish person who tries to trying to make something work. We'll see. I'll try this for a little while, and if this doesn't work, maybe something else will present itself. Let's see. I think some of this will have to be done by dithering. I don't have enough colors to do this. Justin Jeffrey says, game dev as a side gig sounds awesome, especially if main gig is being happily unemployed. Now, usually what happens is side gig, game dev, and side gig many other things. That's been my experience anyway. Is happily being the key. Yeah, that's another thing. Judith Butler's Lover makes a good point. How do you support your 6 children who are somehow all below the age of 2? Yeah, of course, if you have a family, the mathematics gets even more challenging. Pretty happy with the shape of the bucket. Grindoslav really helped with that aspect, I think. But I'm not entirely convinced yet with my lighting on this, but I'm kind of afraid with the lighting. I think if I start going into the bucket with some of this light gray, I don't think it's going to work that well. But I'll try a little bit. Just to get an idea if this is a horrible mistake. Yeah, I don't like that. Tap2GG, good evening. Oh, that's wonderful. So, yeah, so Squaff says, I haven't made game development my main gig, but I've made pixel art my main gig. This kind of stuff just takes time. That is wonderful, Squaff, that you can make pixel art your main gig. I would definitely love to continue to do pixel art stuff. Side gig. I would do pixel art as a main gig, too. I love doing pixel art. Alright, Grindoslav says, don't be afraid, be a friend. Where's that from, Grindoslav? Is that yours? Okay. It's from PSA from the 80s. Gotcha. Yeah, I think this rim is going to need some darkness here. That's what. Yeah, so Squaff, what is some stuff that you've worked on? If you want to share, please do. Yes. Yeah, sounds like a guidance counselor postcard. Don't be afraid, be a friend. It's good advice, I think it's wonderful advice. I think, I don't know, I'm going to try to add more shadows into places, but I don't think I'll be able to do that successfully. I think it's going to mess with this feeling of depth too much to actually add the... Yeah, I don't like it. It's going to have to be done in dithering. So let's work on that handle after all. Oh, cool, Squaff, you at Fiverr and Twitter. I'll get a link to something I posted on Twitter. Nice. Ah. Yes, right. Oh, so Deluxe Tux, yours is that a genuine one? Attitude is a small word that makes a big difference. I agree with that too. There's something about the way that is written. But I do agree. Oh, yeah, so it was spelled attitude? waterfalls, sweet. With color cycling. Nice, 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 nice. I'm gonna take a look. Goblin Spire. Ooh, fantastic. Oh my gosh. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Goblin Spire. I don't think I can... I'm not logged into Twitter on this... Oh, I can't do it right now. I'll follow you later, because I can't... I'm not logged in to Twitter on this iPad. But I will open this up in a browser so I have it. Thank you for sharing. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good for you. Congratulations. That's the dream. That's the dream of every creative person, is to be able to make a living being creative. Yes, log waltz. Famous short animated film sponsored by the National Film Board of Canada. Log driver's waltz. I can't. I'm tone. I don't have the right tone. I won't bother you by singing along to that. Let's do a handle. And let's look at our red bucket. So this one, of course, what it's done is it's got a different kind of way to do the handle, but I'm going to ignore that. And something I am going to do for this, I'm just going to make the handle for now a different color so I'm not confused. Hey Goosack PT, good to see you. So. Let's put this... Should I try to freehand it? It's going to be a disaster. Squaw says, no one has paid me to make waterfalls though. Mostly animals, humans, tons of NFT stuff lately. Mostly animated. Tile sets. Get used to making dirt and sand. You're making a living? That's fantastic. I love tile sets. I love seeing the breakdown of the different elements and how they all kind of work together wonderfully. Congratulations. Really, really, really good. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be quite the same depth as this one. Yeah, I really like color cycling. I don't use it in my own work. First of all, I don't know how to do it. Second of all, there didn't really tend to be a lot of color cycling in Sierra adventure games. So it's kind of not really something I would get into, but I do think it's very awesome. It's kind of really magical. And I know Mark Ferrari had a lot of cool color cycling in his, what are those, Hidden Worlds? Hidden Worlds art pieces. This is going to be a disaster because I'm trying to combine two different things together. You can't color cycle either, but you can fake it. That is so much. Squaw says I can't color cycle, but I can fake it. I feel the same way about every aspect of my games. I don't know how to do it, but I can fake it. You know, I'm using Photoshop. This is terrible. This is terrible because I'm trying to marry two different handle types together and it doesn't want to. It's a disaster. Crosslash, good to see you. Says, I think the first Sierra game to use color cycling was Space Quest 4, aka the VGA era. Okay, Sierra, okay, Edmund Detour seconds that. Sierra had color cycling post EGA. Feel the logo of the iconic music did it. I'm just going to say my same mantra that I always say, which this will be on the screen for a few seconds. It's not going to be a big deal. Cosmo 43/3, it's Space Quest 4. 4. This will be fine. If it looks weird, you guys will tell me, but so far I'm not, I'm still in the selling it phase of this handle. Oh, cool. So Bill Coon says, for that 8-bit ISA to compact flash circuit board from last week, I got to have someone else skilled in soldering unblob the solder on the CF contacts. I soldered all the rest except that I'm missing a 10 kilo ohm resistor. I'll buy the resistor next week. That's awesome, Bill Coon, that you could get someone else to do it. That's my favorite thing to do. Well, actually, you know what? I tell a lie. It's not. But when there's something that I can't do at all, like music, yeah, there's no point in just wasting your own time and getting frustrated. Oh, good, Squaff. I'm glad you like the handle so far. It's gonna be faked. We're gonna fake this handle. Crosslaw says, I think it was a secret that they had it too. The Sierra practice was King's Quest had to show new tech, and so, but the Space Quest 4 team found it and wanted to show it off in Space Quest 4. They kept it secret until the last second. I don't know where I read or saw that, so take it with a grain of salt. It's funny to think of the idea that King's Quest games were kind of the standard bearers of new technology. It was kind of like their flagship franchise. H.C. Willard, good to see you. Yeah, more hot bucket action. Yeah, buckets for days today. Hopefully we can get this handle. And it's one of those things where I feel like I really need to get in here with the dithering, because I'm not going to get good light and shadow on this otherwise. It's just kind of frustrating me right now. And I think I should be using this lighter color for higher contrast. Alright, I can see it better. Lucas, good to see you. Yes, hey, happy Crimson Tuesday. This last studio, happy Crimson Tuesday as well. Oh, Deluxe Text says, between Sierra and LucasArts, which company contributed more to technical narrative innovation during the 90s? Ooh. During the 90s. I might say LucasArts. I like not really knowing really anything, and just my first impression would be LucasArts, because they had that adaptive music thing going. They actually made a good 3D adventure game in Grim Fandango. I think they were more cinematic, and their cutscenes and everything were much more dynamic. Are you going to get a handle on the handle? H.C. Willett, I'm hoping to get a handle on this handle. And yeah, and LucasArts had the iMuse adaptive music system as well. And I feel like in terms of their music and their voice acting and everything, I think they were a step above. They were a step above Sierra in a lot of ways. Technically. Froy, heyo, good to see you. Yes, Eben Detour, Phantasmagoria is a very good point. That was definitely like kind of groundbreaking. Yeah, they did a lot of cool stuff with FMV. I think this handle is too curvy, but we're gonna cover it up with a brown handle. So we're gonna. In fact, you see the way that this handle is it's bent so that the wooden part doesn't slip from one side to the other. It stays quite centered. H.C. Willis says, I feel like LucasArts were trying to make enjoyable gaming experiences, while Sierra were more into hard puzzles and death. I get that impression too. I think so. The thing is with this handle is the handle is straight, right? So we're gonna have to take that into consideration. And I love the fact that the wire part of this handle is bent such that it's not gonna slip from one side to the other. Masumi says, can't wait for AI upscaling to get good enough to remake all the FMV games. I've never been huge on FMV games myself. The only one I think I've really played all the way to the end was Return to Zork. Function F7. I'm going to duplicate this because I'm going to change the way this handle looks. Oh. I want to bend it the way that it's bent here for realism's sake. Here. It's a good discussion. It's a really good question, Deluxe Talks. Jesse Jeffrey says, not saying I like all 90s Sierra games, but they at least tried to innovate a bit more than LucasArts. They sometimes failed, but their experiments contributed more to the genre, I think. But both were excellent story-driven narratives for their games. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I guess being the trailblazer doesn't necessarily mean that you did it the best. In fact, it usually means that you didn't. Oops. So, kind of true. I'm totally willing to accept anybody's argument who makes a good case for either. Bill Coon says, my vintage computer project tonight is sorting some basic programs, some GW basic files, got lumped together with basic A, so I think I have a load to run, to load and rage each one to determine which it is. I've got about 110 of them to sort. What kind of basic programs, Bill Coon? Like, are they, is it like productivity software? Are they, was it commercial stuff? Yeah, I'm feeling a bit better about, even though it's a kind of a weird, and I do think it's a bit too long, so I'm gonna fix that too. Judith Butler's Lover asks, is Christina Aguilera album Back to Basics? I never really don't know a lot of, I'm not actually not really well versed in my Christina Aguilera catalog. Crosslife says, Sierra was wild and all over, but I think that did help them get some good highs, but the lows. Crosslife says, I won't deny I'm biased towards Sierra, but LucasArts never made Police Quest 4. JBL says, neither am I, but I know that one album because it was on the radio 25 hours a day at one point. Back to Basics with Christina Aguilera. And Slash Studio also biased towards Sierra. I'm biased toward how much easier LucasArts games are to play, although I am starting a Let's Play of The Last Crusade, which I have been warned about repeatedly. So I'm not quite sure what to expect with that. Yeah, Lucas says, I think the most innovative game of the modern age is Pong. It always was and is, should have been the only video game ever made. They should have stopped right there. Although, it's fine if you like action games, but or like couch co-op games. But if you like a narrative game, I don't think Pong is going to scratch that itch necessarily. So I would have stopped with like Zork or something, maybe. Girl Slash, I agree. Sierra SCI Zero Art is some of your favorite. Me too. Okay, Boken says mostly the basic programs are simple games like blackjack, chess, a sound effect chooser, PC speaker, a camel desert trekking quasi text adventure, hangman, etc. Camel desert trekking quasi text adventure. Or Advent Detour. Uh oh, never able to play all the way through Last Crusade. Oh my gosh. So are there soft locks or just are they? Was it an arcade sequence? What was the problem? I think this side needs to be more curved. And I probably will play The Last Crusade without consulting any walkthroughs or anything like that for at least maybe one or two Let's Play parts. But I have no shame in going to a walkthrough if I feel like I must. I've got no pride when it comes to this stuff. Lucas argues, what? The narrative in Pong is unrivaled and unmatched. Ball go, ball get hit, ball go other way. What a riveting story. There's definitely a lot of, like, plot twists in Pong. I don't know. Yeah, Crossless. Yeah, I like to do the Let's Plays. Just I like to get like my first impressions first, without having any types of tips. Although I don't have any patience for just trying to figure something out, and I feel like I don't have enough confidence in my own ability to entertain that I don't think I could make it interesting if I'm just stuck on something for multiple hours at a time. Crosslash says Pong doesn't do twists that well, but the way the plot ricochets wildly is endearing. Oh, okay, so they're all GW basic then, Pokun. BMD Nerd, welcome to chat. That is a gorgeous bucket. Thank you, I'm trying. And you know what? Even if this handle looks a little bit wonky, we were talking about this being a very well used and well loved bucket, and so it'll be okay if the handle's a little strange. I say. Edenway says programming is a never ending endeavor of trying to figure out new things, which involve plenty of bashing a head against the wall. Yeah, kind of that overhaul that I did to my code kind of feels like headbangy a little bit. Because I completely broke my notebook function, but I just needed to move one variable from one place to the other, and then it was fine. But before I figured that out, and what's to me what kind of frustrates me about programming that isn't the same as art is, at least with illustration, I know that if I spend enough time on something, it can look good. So it'll so-called work if I spend enough time on something. I don't have that with programming. You can be stuck on the same problem in programming for an eternity and you're never going to get it. So sometimes I get that feeling of weird helplessness. But of course, I have asked people for help and stuff when I really need to, but it sometimes feels like no matter how much time I spend on something, if I can't figure it out, it's just never going to happen. It's Farewell Nova Scotia, my favorite piece on this. Mucho love for this bucket. Lucas 2 says Pong 2 was so innovative, exactly the same thing except 2 on the box. You know what? There probably was, Lucas, there probably was a Pong 2. Both paddles on the same side. And Justin Jeffrey says, can we all take a moment to appreciate how hard A Maple Mystery works to read sometimes aloud our chat messages? I try. I'm not going to get them all, but I do try. Because you guys are awesome. It's so much fun. Yeah, Edenwaith says I can't dismiss the idea that programming might involve eternally fighting the same battle. Was there a sequel to Pong known as Ms. Pong? Lucas says I feel like Pong 2 would go over well as Hamlet 2 in that one comedy movie. Ms. Pong. uh. Well, I mean, I bet there was some kind of like Pong Deluxe or something, right? No? I'd be surprised if that didn't exist. Block Breaker. I remember there was that 3D Tetris that was kind of cool. That would have been like a sequel to Tetris. Tetris, I guess there's never been like a Tetris 2, but they have been other iterations of Tetris that were elaborations on the general idea of Tetris. So, I don't know, maybe Pong had the same evolution. Blockout, Marsima says, yes, it was really cool. It's Pong Jr., Super Pong, Pong Adventures, and Pong 64. Oh, cool. Bilkun says the desert adventure is called Desert.bas. You play a solo cameleer. Is cameleer a word? Because if it is, that's fantastic. A cameleer. It's all text. You have to travel 40 miles across the Gobi Desert while murderous, knock-kneed pygmies chase you. That's fantastic. I mean, not fantastic. That sounds terrible. But it's amazing that exists. Oh, well, there's a 3D Tetris on Atari ST as well. Yes, eat it away. Yeah, 3D Tetris on PC. Oh, was it called 3D Tetris, or was it the Blockout one that we're mentioning? Oh, there is a Tetris 2. Goemon Sama said it's called Bomb Bliss. It's weird. Wow. Judith Butler's Lover says, I'm impressed by Julia's and other art streamers' ability to multitask. I could never paint or talk, read, converse. Well, you know, Judith Butler's Lover, it all happens, but it happens really slowly, as you can see. You know, some of the scenes that we've done together on stream have just taken forever. But as long as no one minds, then it's probably okay. Oh yes, Tap2G says, I see 3D Tetris and I read you Hatris. Which I have seen screenshots of Hatris, and I do have to admire the guts of someone who would attempt a Hatris as a theme. It doesn't even... Do you even stack hats? I don't know. Oh, Deluxe Tux 2... Deluxe Tux isn't... I called it Deluxe Tux 2. In Deluxe Tux. In 2015, they made that Pac-Man game with infinite scrolling and wacky power-ups. Was it like Pac-Man Championship Edition or something? Is that the thing? Blanca was a clone of 3D Tetris. Gotcha. Okay, there's Tetris 99 goes like PT. Yeah, there's a bunch of other Tetrises, but it's funny because I don't think anything was ever called Tetris 2. Unless that Bombless one. Quomp, unofficial sequel to Pong. Tetris 99 tried too hard. You much a bigger fan of Tetris 98 or like Tetris XP or something? Terrible. I did it. Stop at Tetris 99 due to the Y2K bug. Dave, boy, good to see you. Carasla says Tetris MU is a real bad Tetris. I'm still in my head. I'm trying to think of something that would have been better to use instead of hats for Hatris. If you're gonna make Tetris blocks but make them be objects, what would be better than hats? Some kind of food, maybe? Oh wow! Flukas says, fun fact, my PG 1989 Game Boy still works. Gave it to my sister-in-law years ago. She still plays it. That thing is 33 years old. Wait, OG, you're OG. Yeah, I still have my OG Game Boy as well. I should fire it up and see if mine still works. Squaff has Cat Tetris. Cat Tetris. That kind of is like cats are kind of liquid. Kind of that kind of works for me better than hats. Honeycombs would be good. Animals. There's some kind of animals. Oh, Krosloff's got an original NES a few days ago with a bit of love. Still works with playing NES games. It's wonderful. Tree branches. Yeah, what it would be like something that you would stack. Like you would be like kind of like unpacking but packing, right? Like the opposite maybe. All these Pong and Tetris puns warm my crusty little heart, Lucas says. Ooh, Crosslash is a Game Boy Pocket back when Pokemon first came out. Hope it still works. It's in solid shape. A lot of that stuff seems to work after quite a long time, which is wonderful. Retro games are pricey. I think lately they've really gotten pricey. More about oh yeah, candies. So yeah, stacking candies. Hey, Ronald Draxter, good to see you. Tetris still the best game on the Game Boy, Edmund Detour says. Yeah. The music is wonderful. I was reading this wonderful Action Button Reviews article about Tetris and how you never win Tetris, but if you're playing by yourself, that game always ends in loss, which is kind of interesting. I never really thought of it that way, but it's true. There's like no win condition. Lucas asks, is this music for my game? This was the inspiration for the music in my game. When I was first making the Crimson Diamond and I hadn't met up with Dan yet, I was using a lot of music from this. And what this is called the Great Canadian Tune Book. And it is 6 hours of Canadian folk tunes that are in MIDI format. And someone called Barry Taylor arranged them. And I was using them for a while. And when I decided I might want to try to sell the game, I was looking for Barry Taylor to ask him if I could use his music, and I couldn't find him anywhere. And then I found, Dan, and Dan helped with the music, and I got to play Dan this stuff and say, this is kind of what I'm looking for. Ooh. Control tab. I'm just going to switch over to Big Julia because I hear something's happened, but I can't tell what it is. Steffi Animals, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. And I guess while I'm in Big Julia mode, I can show you the reference I have for my fish. It's a pretty generic fish. It's a ceramic fish. I think I bought this for $7. I love ceramics and I love glaze. So he's just gonna, flop into the bucket like we have. But I think it's a pretty good fish. Look at this. Look at this glorious glazing. It has all like the features I want on my fish. It's got all the right fins and stuff. He's wonderful. So this is kind of what I'm looking at. I do have my own reference of a fish that was in the river scene, but it's kind of nice to have like a 3D fish that's beautiful. Yeah, Stuffy Animals, he's got a glazy eye, yeah. Look at that glaze. Look at him. Look at him. Oh, Grindelslav redeemed show a watercolor cat card. I will, definitely. Yeah, and I actually brought one down with me special. The fish does not sing. It's a good fish. Yes, the annoying singing bass. So what were those called again? I love the blue in here. There's a bit of blue happening. Okay, so I'm going to put him back. But I will, Grindelslav redeemed, so I will share while we're on Big Julia thing. And I'm going to turn off the green screen because I don't want the green screen to kill my lovely cat. Okay. Glaze is tasty. And welcome to chat, Steffi Animals. Thank you again for the follow. Okay, catching up. Okay. Yes, Big Mouth Billy Bass. Yes, the annoying singing bass. Okay, here is the card that we have for today. I'm trying to pull out ones that you guys haven't seen before. This is from 2010. 2010 was a World Cup year, and this year was dual hosted by South Korea and Japan, which was awesome. I believe someone help me here. So was this the one that was dual hosted by South Korea and Japan? 2002. Okay, never mind. I'm totally wrong, and very forgetful, and also probably old. Dan's doing great, Ronald Draxler. He's just really busy right now, which is why he couldn't stream today. Okay. 2010 was South Africa. Okay, oh yeah, so that's what this symbol is. It's kind of like the South Africa motif. And 2002 was South Korea and Japan. But Eden Way said, I would rather watch Dido than the 2010 World Cup. Aw. Yeah, so here's Dido. Dido is wearing the Japanese team jersey, Team Japan. And I do love their jerseys. I love that blue color. And I do have, I think, a jersey, but I didn't bring it down. With all the sponsorships and everything, Dido's won the World Cup. Oh, Maximus, you also bought one. You bought one for your nephew. This card has a distinct lack of Vuvuzela. That whole problem. Yes. Thank you, guys. So thank you for the redemption, Grindislav. Then that is the card for today. Turn back on the chroma key. Yes. and Diego said Dan doesn't love us anymore. No, Dan is busy. Dan is doing all kinds of things, and so you're stuck with me for a little bit. Oh, the Lux Touch loved the Vuvuzela craze. I thought it was extremely obnoxious. But it's in hindsight, when we don't have to hear them anymore, I'm fine with it. Oh, did something happen in American football, Eden Waith? Somebody lost a quarter? They couldn't get a quarter back or something? I'm trying to make a bad dad joke. Yes, it's easier to poke fun at Mr. Dan when he isn't here. We still love you, Dan. And actually, speaking of Dan, why don't we put Dan's links down? Dan isn't finishing Elden Ring. That's Dan the Band. Oh no, I have his old Twitch. No, never mind those links. Totally ignore them. The website is correct, but the link is broken. The Twitch link is not correct anymore, because now Dan is Dan the Band, not Dan the Band Music, but the Twitter is still working. Sorry about that. But yeah, Dan, when we stream music with Dan, we stream on his channel, Dan the Band. And he is Dan the Band on Twitter. And he has been touring more, although I won't say necessarily where he is or he isn't right now. He's just very busy. But touring, he did tour last month. He was with Sean Paul and them doing his thing. So, for those of you who don't know, Dan is he's been in Sean Paul's band for the past 8 or 9 years, and they've been touring a bit now that things are kind of in some parts of the world kind of normalizing, maybe potentially. Yeah, Dan is or isn't somewhere, depending. Is his tour location a state secret? No, it's one of those, it's one of those like safety things. Like when you go on vacation, you shouldn't tell people that you're on vacation at the time that you're on vacation, type of a thing. So I will just say Dan is busy. I won't say whether he's in town or not. All that stuff. Best practices. Yes, Dan is Schrodinger's cat. Yeah, maybe he is home and maybe he's taking a break because he just got in at like 6 o'clock this morning, or maybe he's out, or who knows. Hello, it's Patoyne. Good to see you. Welcome back. Yeah, we're just working on a combination of bucketness. We've got this red bucket, which has the kind of handle that I want, but it doesn't have the handle top is this type of bucket, which was a mistake because they probably aren't supposed to combine this way for good reason. Yes, World of Buckets. Yes, work calling out people on vacay is so rude. Yeah, best practice not not publicly reveal Dan's address. It may or may not be 30 Rock, New York, New York. Oh, Patoing, I'm glad you like it. Yeah, we're making a bucket that wouldn't exist. It's a dream bucket. And the handle is okay if it looks a bit weird because it's going to be kind of like a dinged up bucket. This old man has had this bucket. We can think that this old man has had this bucket his entire life. It's probably his favorite bucket that he's been using ever since he was a boy, and so it would be a little bit beat up. Especially with the handle, because the handle is, very prone to being warped from carrying things that might be too heavy. The bucket has seen many a fish, exactly, Batong. In fact, I will play I'll play the animation for you. And for anyone who missed it, this is the scene we are recreating and upgrading. Which is where my fish comes in, my little guy here. I love ceramics, I love glass. When I was in London in 2019 for Adventure X, I went to the Victoria and Albert Museum. I went there twice, and I still didn't see everything, and it was the best museum I've ever been to in my entire life. And I also, during that trip, I also went to the British Museum. I went to the art gallery, whatever that one's called, the British Art Gallery, the British Museum, the British Library, and the Tate Modern. Stuff that I'd seen in textbooks, and also there's a game by Parker Brothers called Masterpiece, and I got to see a lot of the paintings from the game Masterpiece on display at the National Gallery, which was wonderful and kind of surreal. Lucas, have a wonderful night. Thank you for coming. Oh, Judith Butler's Lover said, I just realized when you turned off the green screen that if I had it, it might not work because of my green eyes. Tech savvy people in chat, is that a thing? They would have to be very, very green, I think. Although sometimes I have trouble with Nancy's cyan in her because of the green screen. That model looks more troutish. Oh, eating with it. Didn't know you know your fish. Yes, National Art Gallery. Thank you, Maximus. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't mind that this looks a little bit warped because it probably would have done. And I will add a beautiful wood grain to this handle, I think. But I do want to... The wonderful thing about having reference is that you can put in these little bits of detail that will help it come more alive. Like the shape of the handle is not just a cylinder. It actually has a bit more character than that. So we're going to add that. Yes, but London has some nice museums indeed, and they're free. It's surreal to me that you can see these amazing things and not pay anything to see them. So, I saw the Rosetta Stone, which blew my mind completely in half. I could not believe what I was looking at. A lot of the Egyptian stuff at the British Museum. I saw the Elgin marbles. I saw, a ton of them, the most amazing paintings ever. Yes, free museums feel normal having grown up near DC. Yeah, Dave, that's very, very lucky, actually. Oh, well, Dave, you went on an old Southern plantation tour. You went on a photo scavenger hunt for Colonel's bequest stuff. That'd be really cool, too. Yeah, the mummies in the British Museum are awesome. You visit every time you're in London. Yeah, it's a really, really excellent museum. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Edenwaith. Yeah. So around where you are, there are free days. Yeah. In Toronto, the Royal Ontario Museum, I think, has a free day. I think it's Friday near closing, and the art gallery might also have the same thing. But our museums, you pay $20 to get into for the most part. Yes, but to be fair, the British should give a lot of stuff back to where they stole it from, but that's a whole other conversation. Yeah, that's when I mentioned the Elgin marbles, it was kind of funny, and I actually still have the pamphlet on me that they had a display where you can pick up a pamphlet that basically was rationalizing why they should get to keep these and not give them back. Yes, there's a lot of that going on too, of course. Edenworth wants to know what funds the museums in DC, such as the Smithsonian, which is hard to say, I'm assuming. My dad, my whole family went to Washington, and we went to the Smithsonian. And of course, the one that made the biggest impression on me when I was a kid was the Museum of Natural History. Smithsonian Museum of Natural History was amazing. Even as a kid, it was my absolute favorite. The thing that made the impression on me, funnily enough, at the Museum of Natural History was not any of the rock specimens, which I would want to see again now, but they had Dorothy's ruby slippers, which was kind of magical. Judith Butler's Lover, when I was at the Tate Modern and saw Ophelia by John Everett Mills, Millet, I sat there and stared at it in a trance. It blew me away. Yeah, when I went to the Tate Modern, they had a Degas bronze of the ballet girl, and that kind of blew me away at the Tate Modern, because it's something that I've seen so much in art textbooks and never thought I'd ever see one in real life. Yeah, Maximus, yeah, regarding the Elgin marbles and other pieces, some would argue that they might be safer in London, and that's what the pamphlet was talking about, because a lot of that stuff, when it was left out, got degraded because of acid rain and the elements and things like that. So yeah, they did make, they made some good rationale behind why that stuff was safer in a way and better preserved. It's a really complicated topic, of course. Oh, Grindeslav says the Met Museum is pay what you want, though the suggested price is $25. Yes, Edenway says there should be a game that revolves around a British person taking an item from Egypt against the protests of, yes, we're talking about the dagger of Amon-Ra, of course, yeah. So it is a definitely controversial topic. Yes. And Grindeslav used to love the Air and Space Museum in DC. I think I saw that one. I also went to, there was one in Michigan, I think. Isabella Gardner Museum in Boston is your favorite, Jay Frisbee? I've been to Boston. I went to Boston for PAX East, the last big convention. Well, I guess now they're coming back, but back in Boston 2019, PAX East, I didn't get to see any museums though, unfortunately. Oh wow, Natural History Museum actually finished overhauling their dino exhibit. Oh, Maximus went to Guggenheim at NYC. Can't remember if it was free, unlikely. I've never been to New York City, which I think is terrible. Like I said, I was supposed to, the expectation, I don't know if it was the expectation, but one of the recommendations was when, you have a portfolio for editorial illustration, was to go to New York, which is like the capital of illustration in North America, and take your portfolio there to portfolio days, to all the big magazines, and they would, you drop your portfolio off for the day, they would pick up all the artist portfolios, look through them, and you pick your portfolio up at the end. And I never made that trip, and I've never been to New York to this day. Yeah, museums, Patong, I love museums. I love art galleries. Toronto's got a few good things here, so we're lucky. Massimo says, will there be e.g. art exhibitions in museums of the future, I wonder? Probably pixel art if there hasn't already been, and I'm sure there must have already been. Oh wow. Also theater, you saw The Meager Company by Frans Hals in Amsterdam and had to laugh because one of the dudes, it looked exactly like Robin Williams. Theater is also, live theater is also something special, too. Ooh, Goman-sama saw Maxfield Parrish painting in person. There's one at Rochester's Memorial Art Gallery. I love, I don't want to call them small art galleries, so I don't want to, downplay them or anything, but I love art galleries that aren't like the big galleries, because they can be so much more intimate and so much more focused on specific people, and they're usually cheaper if you have to pay for them. Yeah, Dave, you have coworkers going to GDC this year. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people talk about GDC, and I'm like, yeah, not ready yet. And I do know that Adventure X this year is going to be in person in London, and I who knows what the world's going to look like in November, but as it stands now, I'm not comfortable to do it. Oh my gosh. Jim Matt, good to see you. Maxwell Parrish is awesome. And Grindelslav says that was 2020, Julia, the last big thing before everything shut down. PAX East, that is. Yeah, yeah. There goes my memory again. You're absolutely right. It was 2020. Ooh, Jim Matt's also seen one of Maxwell Parrish's originals up close in Marin County. Yeah, Judith Butler's Lover. I live pretty close to New York. It would be a pretty cheap flight to go, for sure. It'd be like an hour or two flight. Jay Frisbee says, I remember thinking everyone that went to the 2020 PAX East would die. Well, you know what? We are going to die. You're absolutely right, Jay Frisbee. Everyone who's gone to PAX East will die. That is absolutely undisputed. Just a matter of when. Yeah, Pixellated Judith Butler's Lover says, regularly part of museum exhibits. Patoing says, there has been. Oh, there has been. I'm not sure what that's referring back to. I've completely lost track. Yes, Toronto to NYC is an easy weekend trip. Leave TO in just a few hours. You're walking around in Manhattan. What I have not done. Oh, thank you, Patoing. Oh, thank you for the painting. Wiki art. Okay, wow. Okay. Fantastic. The Meager Company. Okay, so you. Oh, it's not theater. So it is like a. Can I see the guy who looks like? Oh, is it the guy? Is it the guy on the far left? Looks like Robin Williams. It's kind of hard to tell from here. I love group paintings like that. They look really difficult. Because, every single one of those guys was just complaining. Sitting dude on the left, Patoing says. Okay, gotcha. I'm going to open that again. Sitting dude on the left. So the guy on the left. Yeah. Oh, you're right, he does. Oh my gosh. That's wonderful. It's kind of fun because I've seen on Twitter, I think on Twitter or other places, those photos of people standing in front of paintings that look a lot like them, which is kind of wonderful. Ooh, pretty cool, smallish Salvador Dali Museum in St. Petersburg, Florida. Fantastic. Dave Boy says, well, I haven't died yet. I'll just have to take your word for it, Davor. Okay, Edenway says, speaking of dying, Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade, it's not like so many other LucasArts games you can die in this game, so save early and save often. Pascal Larousse, hey, welcome back, Pascal. I wonder if pandemic hygienic practices will make the PAX flu thing a thing of the past. I know that I'm not really going to any public events, but if I was, I would definitely be wearing a mask. Absolutely. Oh, you like Deluxe Tux? Speaking of American painters, Deluxe Tux likes John George Brown, who was most active in the late 1800s. Fantastic. Yeah, Puto, you can die in Monkey Island for sure. You have to stay underwater for like 10 minutes, apparently, I think. Is there another way? Oh, Ferrari lives close to the Dali Museum. Nice. And as I remember watching Lori and Corey Cole stream their own game, Trial by Fire. If you leave it at the title screen for too long, you die. Although you can die legitimately a lot in that game, but it's just funny that you can just die at the title screen. Yeah, you can die after 10 minutes of waiting in the water in Secret of Monkey Island, and all your verbs change. BMD Nerd asks, are you a Sierra stan or a LucasArts lover? I like both. If I had to pick which ones I would play, when I was growing up, I enjoyed LucasArts better because I couldn't die and stuff. But I like the way the Sierra ones look more. So it's really hard to pick. Yeah, Patoing said the verbs would be float, bob, and other water-related stuff. Oh, cool! Pascal Lefebvre's got a Crimson Diamond mask and wears that one to con. Wear that one to a con. I don't even have a Crimson Diamond mask. I should get one. Although I do have like ones that have like EGA pixels on them, and I've got one that's Nancy's mask. Not Nancy's face, but it looks really creepy. Loom, Patoing, yeah. Petoing loves the EG art in Loom, says that's the best. BMD raised on Sierra. I need my deaths. The deaths are fun now. As an adult, they are fun, but as a kid, they were really scary. My favorite EGA in a LucasArts game is The Secret of Monkey Island. My favorite EGA overall is The Colonel's Bequest. Loom is gorgeous, though. Yeah, and you know what, exactly. I find that it feels more relaxing, and there's more. I feel enjoyment in the games when I feel free to explore and experiment without the threat of dying or getting soft locked. Yeah, and I totally agree with that, and that's how I feel. And I kind of wonder. Well, no, I don't kind of wonder. I kind of feel like that's what I was going for. Oh no, I feel like that's kind of what I was going for with my own stuff too. I don't like soft locks. If we have to choose one that I like, so-called like more, if I really had to, just like. It's really hard because there are way more Sierra games, I feel like. I have said my favorite adventure game to play is Secret of Monkey Island. If I really had to pick, if it's just to appreciate and not play, I might say Sierra. But if I actually was like, you can only play one company's games moving forward, I would probably say LucasArts. A Crimson Diamond Mask Bilkun. There's a bunch of different designs that can be picked from. There's like a logo, I think Nancy's face. There's none that is a red faceted diamond made of cardboard that you wear over your face. Ah. Wow, oh my gosh, Pascal Leroux does not recommend Secret of Monkey Island on Sega CD. And says, I never got any of the LucasArts games until Full Throttle, went back to them on remakes like for the Sega CD. Whew. Oh, BMD, oh no, there's a dungeon section of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade? Oh my gosh, I'm scared. There's no way I'm going to make it through legitimately. Yeah, I don't think, Deluxe X, I don't think being soft-locked has ever added to my enjoyment. Oh, Pitong, you never played Infocom games? I recommend Zork Zero, The Coconut of Quendor, and Beyond Zork. Those ones are fun. As far as I know, Davor says, musically inspired is the only person who likes soft locks. Oh my gosh. Oops. What I think I'm going to do partly with this handle is I'm going to make it so that the lines are kind of lighter at the top and then get heavier at the bottom to suggest lighting. So there's a bunch of different ways to suggest lighting. One of them, of course, is with color, and one of them can be with pattern. So if I'm going to make the pattern kind of break up a little bit near the top of this, it'll look like it's lit a little bit. Let's see if I can make this work if I'm just... Yeah, exactly, just as Jeffy, quantity. Sierra would provide more games to play. LucasArts was great, but they didn't make as many games. So yeah, if I had to... I remember Goosei PT, I remember Biomenace and Duke Nukem as well. Those are fun. Okay, so Eating With says if you have a walkthrough for Last Crusade, it's fine. Okay, I will definitely be going to a walkthrough, so it's nice to know that there is one that's good. Yeah, and Pascal Lure, I find that, yeah, I mean, I would say that game design wise, puzzle design wise, LucasArts wins. Because yeah, I figured out most of the stuff in most. I got stuck later in LucasArts games, I guess is what I'll say. Patoing says, I kind of feel like those light rims in the back near the handle should not be light either. The light rims in the back of the handle. I feel like I also didn't do this very well. I'm not sure exactly what you mean, Patoing. Hold on, I'm gonna... It's funny because when Grindaslav was helping me with figuring out how to draw the bucket properly, I misunderstood him about 15 times before I figured out what he was saying. It's kind of hard, without being able to just point at the screen, it can be kind of hard to figure out exactly what you mean, but I will try my best. Oh, the two thicker bits of the bucket, okay. The light rims on the back, the two thicker bits, not the handle itself, two thicker bits on the bucket. So these kind of feel like the light rims in the back near the handle should not be light. Light rim. Right. Since they're on the shadow side. Oh, this, the one on the right hand side. Would be in shadow. On the bucket. Okay, light rims in the back. On the bucket. On the bucket. Two thicker bits on the bucket. It has two circles around the circumference. Oh, these ones? Like the rivets? Which are light gray. Okay. It has two circles around the circumference. Oh, these two circles around the circumference. Okay. Okay. So those would, okay, yeah, so these wouldn't be lit like this. Yes. Okay, woo, we got it. Okay. Yeah, I totally agree they wouldn't be. I'm going to need to handle that with some dithering, I think. Because I do want to show them and make it more obvious. But they won't be treated exactly like this the whole time. Yes. Yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree. We're going to figure something out for that. But I'm just trying to get the basic shapes down, and then we're going to worry about exactly what the light is doing. And in fact, I might even change what the light is doing here, too, depending on how I feel. But thank you. Very good point. D-Reaper90, welcome to chat, says, I like the demo and the ETA. I'm hoping this year. For the holiday season, I'm hoping to launch it. But the year is going by way too fast. I'm right now working on chapter 5 of 7. I'm going to try my best to have it done by the holidays this year. So, fingers crossed. D-Reaper90 says, I hope the final game has a soft lock puzzle. I'm going to try my best to not have them. But, you know what? There very well may be one unintentionally. Yeah, I was just, I was going to just work a little bit on this handle a little bit. Yeah, exactly. Pretending if you miss something, you can pick up something that you pick up in the train at the very beginning, you soft lock at the very end of the game. Classic Sierra. Yeah, we're gonna try not to do those things in my game. And if someone says, "Oh, by the way, that's what happened," maybe I'll say, "Oh, that's my tribute to Sierra." I wouldn't. I'm trying my best to actually have the game, yeah, not be mean to the player. Oh wow, okay, Bilkun does have an unintentional soft lock. Yeah, replayability. The game, I'm hoping that it will have replayability, but not from soft locking the player. A bit of replayability. Like, the game will be able to be enjoyed by people who want to really get in there and ask people questions, and there will be conversations you could potentially miss out on. So I'm kind of hoping that people might watch other people play it and say, "Oh my gosh, I didn't get to see that," or something. But the general experience should be the same. Like, the broad strokes of the story should be the same. Is the hope. And also, dark red and dark gray, they blend pretty nicely. I do use that a lot, and I think I will get into that for some parts of it. Which is a very good point. So this will probably get some gray in it at the darker parts. And actually, there's this weird... The handle has these weird lines in it that I probably will also do. But actually, the handle as it is now, I want to do 3 lines like this bucket. And I might actually give the bucket handles a better shape too. Maybe an orange rim light on the bottom of the handle where it meets the dark gray. On the bottom of handle where it meets the dark gray. I'm not sure if I'm going to get that. It would look awesome. I would probably make it look more metallic. BMD nerd, I'm with you. I think replaying an adventure game is kind of like reading a book. I'm going to play, I think, a little bit with this. I wanted to have a bit more going on. You'd probably go dark blue for some dark gray shading to avoid. Yeah, there's a bunch of different ways to go with this. Like I said, I've seen Doug Herring use like the cyans to give metal a metallic look. So I'm not entirely sure exactly how I'm going to go with this. Piojo Exalt asks, "Are you a software developer?" I am a software developer on my own game. So I'm using Adventure Game Studio to do the coding and all that rest of it. But I also do the art and animation. I went to school for art, so I'm a lot more comfortable making art for not just computer art, but like magazine and newspaper illustrations. So I have like art directed other games, and I've contributed art on other games. But I don't feel comfortable enough to do contract work for other people for programming, because I can only really use Adventure Game Studio. But yeah, I did pixel art for Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator. That came out in December for Strange Scaffold. And that's kind of more my area of expertise, but I've taught myself enough Adventure Game Studio where I feel like I can make a game on my own with it. But I certainly couldn't be relied upon to do that for anybody else in any other engine. Some black on the shadow side of the bucket would work too, I think. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need to darken up some areas of this to get the metallic look. Yeah. Just as Jeffy says, "Hey stream peeps, you're all my favorite people this week. Happy friggin' Tuesday." Yeah, I really enjoy hanging out with you guys weekly. Fantastic. And I'm going to try, actually, right now I'm going to try that gray, I think, on the shadow side of this, and also for the grooves, which I think would be kind of nice. Judith Butler's Lover asks, "Do you believe in life after love?" I really like that song. I don't know if that's, like, considered cheesy, but I do really like that song. I would totally do that at karaoke if I was given the chance, and if karaoke was a thing I was comfortable going to, I would do it. This needs to flare out more again. It's Happy Fraggle Rock Day. Oh, hotkeys. Oh, you. It was playing at this grocery store today. I was jamming next to the cabbage. I really like that song by Cher. Well, not I don't know if it's by Cher, but Cher performed this thing when she was doing her like a kind of a bit of a career revival. That was her big hit, and I think it's fantastic. Even though, yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's like auto-tuned and all the rest of it. I like it. Pascal LaRue says, "Did you see the new video New Kids on the Block released with Rick Astley, Salt and Pepper, and En Vogue?" I did not, Pascal LaRue. I will admit that I was never a big New Kids on the Block person. I was never into the boy band stuff. But I really like En Vogue. I like two of their songs, I think. Free Your Mind is awesome. Justin Jeffy, yeah, I grew up with Fraggle Rock and I really enjoyed it. Oh, okay, maybe, so this is something I need to see then, is what you're saying. Yeah, Jesus Butler's Lover says, "I don't know how you could not like that song. It's a perfect pop song, catchy, overly dramatic, secretly sad if you stop to think about it." I really like good pop music. I think it's really well made. I like Billie Eilish songs. I like Bad Guy, Bad Girl, I guess it's called. Bad Guy, Bad Girl. And I also like Bury the Dead. I really like those two songs of hers. And I like an Ed Sheeran song here or there. They're really well put together pieces of music. It's super catchy. Billie Eilish. And kind of funny about Billie Eilish is she and her brother, I guess, wrote the songs for the new Pixar movie Turning Red, which is kind of funny and kind of sweet when you come to think of it. But yeah, I'm going to put the grooves in, and I think the grooves will be the first thing to be that darker. I like pop music. Yes, Fog is Green, you heard Turning Red. Yes. Speaking of Toronto, Turning Red is set in Toronto. And so the boy band music was written by Billie Eilish and her brother, which is wonderful. Ah, Pascal LaRue got more into the Canadian alt rock scene. Our Lady Peace, I Mother Earth, Moist, etc. Oh yes, oh yes. I love my fair share of Canadian music. I like my Jan Arden and my Sarah McLachlan and Our Lady Peace, of course. Celine Dion. Who can't not like Celine Dion's power ballads? Ooh, Eden Wade says the German musician Patty Gurdy does a neat cover song of Bad Habits using old instruments like a Gurdy, far better than the original in my opinion. Oh, Fog is Green just saw Turning Red. Curious to hear opinions about it. Well, red pandas are really, really, really cute. I have plushies of red, Uncle Traveling, Matt, and Sprocket. You're gonna go give them a big hug now. Just to Jeffy, are those... those are Fraggle Rock? Fraggles? What's cool about Turning Red is, yeah, it's set in Toronto, and it's such a cool thing to get to see Toronto and like Chinatown and all that fun stuff. I thought it was really cute and I liked it, and I felt a bit emotional in parts here and there, but it didn't like blow me away or anything like that. But I think it's really good. I'm glad that it exists. You don't get a lot of stuff where the protagonist is like a 13-year-old girl, kind of growing up and stuff like that. I think that's really valuable to have and for girls to have. That's characters from Fraggle Rock. Gotcha. Because Sprocket, I recognize the name Sprocket for Fraggles. Yeah, in terms of other opinions, Foggy Green, I don't know. I just I liked it a lot, and and the fur was done really well. Um, and I hope it does well. I do. Judith Butler's Lover says, my favorite pop music is in the I'm sad, but by God, I will dance. Believe me, dancing on my own on the radio. What's love got to do with I want to dance with somebody, etc. I love I want to dance with somebody. That is a great song. Ah, Eden Way says, so how close do they show Toronto? I played the original Watch Dogs game because it takes place in Chicago, sort of. It's more like a Chicago-like. Well, the streetcars looked like Toronto streetcars. The Sky Dome looked like the Sky Dome. They had the CN Tower. Chinatown area kind of did look like Chinatown area, but the suburb stuff really didn't look so much like Toronto. But yeah, like the Daisy Mart that was in it looks like a Daisy Mart in Toronto. I'm sure they did really well with like all that street dressing stuff, like the street signs and the manhole covers and all the rest of it. Yeah, Foggy Screen says, I think I agree. Enjoyable, but not an instant classic like Encanto. I haven't seen Encanto. But Foggy Screen is partial to musicals. Yeah, Justin Jeffrey says, really looking forward to watching Turning Red. There's some controversy about it because of that one review or something stupid. It looks like a fun movie. Yeah, the controversy is just silly. It's not even really worth addressing. Just some guy said he couldn't relate to it because, it was about a girl or something. And also, apparently, some people take issue with it because it has to do with periods or something, which is just ridiculous and kind of funny that people have a problem with that, considering that half the world has that. So, grow up, I guess. Desert.bas Belkroon says, it's from February 1982. Oh, you lost. You lost in the game. The local sheik now uses my skull as a coin purse. Sounds like a tough game. I wonder, there has to be a Let's Play of it somewhere. Boken, that's awesome though that you can play that. So it's kind of like, I was gonna say, so it's kind of like Lawrence of Arabia, but I haven't seen Lawrence of Arabia. Oh, because you're saying because the dark gray and the dark red are too close in tone and they blend visually. You would go black or blue. I don't actually mind the blending really. But I'm gonna try to sell it though. I'm gonna try to sell it because I'm gonna try to put it into the grooves here. So to kind of make it look like it's the shadow version of which means that it wouldn't actually look too bad as a blend. That's kind of where I'm seeing it go, but I'm not sure if I can pull it off. Yeah, Pascal Leroux said, tapping into artwork, character isn't someone you relate with, is how you end up relating to them. You gain empathy, that's why it's important. Yeah. Yeah, because it's that whole thing about like walking a mile in somebody's shoes and seeing, the stuff they go through and saying, what, well, that's not so different from the stuff I've gone through in my own life, etc. And same reason that, reading books and everything is so important and all that. Because people generally are pretty much the same. We don't think of it that way, but people generally want all the same things. Baton, you think they even bite each other, the colors? This could be a complete mistake. You know what I might do? Hmm. I might put some black into some of these areas, actually. Agomon Sama says, turning red would be more interesting to me if it didn't have the human turned into animal gimmick, but I guess you gotta have a character to put on underoos. Yeah, I was just, yeah, how cute that thing will be, that little red panda will be for merchandising. Deluxe Talk says, Lawrence of Arabia is a good movie. Lots of directors hold it up as a masterpiece of direction from what I understand. Davor agrees with Gomon Sama about the red panda whole thing. It was really cute though. I get it. It's kind of like Grogu or whatever the Yoda baby is. But Patong says, regarding the blending, some issues exist on the handle with dark cyan and green on the grass. Yeah, I was actually, originally, I was not even intending it to permanently be this color. I was just making it this color to differentiate it from the gray of the bucket. And then when the shading gets better put down on the bucket, I was thinking about changing the handle to the grays, but it would have just gotten lost. So that is pending for sure. I may, all of it can be changed super easily. Oh. Yeah, the dark cyan and the darker green basically are indistinguishable to the eye. Yeah, I totally agree. Oh yeah, Judith Butler's lover says, yes, you can decapitate a person on a screen or send them through a jet engine, which is an example I saw on Twitter. But yeah, periods, what will our etiquette governesses say? Yeah. Justin Jeffrey says, I don't care much about being able to relate to characters in the movies I watch. I don't want to relate. I want to be transported to an alternate reality for 1.5 hours. Take me away to a completely unrelatable universe for 1.5 hours, please. I need to be disconnected from reality for a little while. Also, a very good point. Also, an extremely good point. I like both of them. Both things. Is that a blue bucket shadow on the grass? Yes. Oh, fog screen. Yeah. That was going to be a shadow and not a puddle. All of this is pending. Yeah, Gomon Summon says, that being said, it is wonderful that Pixar finally let a woman helm one of their films and share their life experiences. Yeah. I think that is important. Yeah, never mind what's happening with the rest of all this. Yeah, don't be concerned. It'll be okay. We're just working on the general ideas of things. Oh, and Davor disagrees and says that things are entirely unrelatable, lack any stakes or drama. I can see both of those views. Like, when I watched Dune, I didn't relate to anything I was looking at, pretty much, I don't think. But it was fantastic. Because, I mean, I didn't relate to Paul Atreides, but I did, I guess it's the difference between relating and empathizing, I guess. Like, I didn't really necessarily even empathize with Paul Atreides, but it was just, I was interested to see what would happen. Oh, Towing says, I think doing something completely unrelatable would be kind of hard. Yes. Unless you tried, like, intentionally to do it. Or just be a super bad writer. I guess that's another good point. It can be, I think, oh, I don't like this gray that I put. I'm going to take it off. I'm going to leave this for now. I'm going to leave it for now. We're going to move on to some other aspect. What time is it? 10:04. Okay, at 10:30 I will move on to Indiana Jones. DJ John 125, hello, welcome. I feel like I recognize your name, so I might say welcome back, but this very well be your first chat, in which case welcome. Yeah, I think yeah, that whole thing, Dave, where it might be the definitions we're using we're not clarifying. You like seeing Dave likes seeing stuff that's new. If I can't identify the struggles of any character, then I don't see the point. Yeah, Judith Butler's Lover says, I was reflecting on this the other day. In every photo or video or documentary about the anime industry that I watch, the companies are always composed of at least 50% women, including the animators, but I don't know a single female anime director. That is a very good point, Judith Butler's Lover. DJ John 125 asks, where is Dan? Yeah, Dan could not make it today, so it's me today. Possibly next week. We'll see where Dan's at. Yeah, true, Dave. Well, yeah, so yeah, I mean, you might not be one to have a period or to get them, but the terror of puberty is pretty identifiable. Absolutely. And Edith relates completely to the main character in the game, Frogger. All those days of being a frog, risking life and green limbs as they avoid traffic and alligators. This is true, but also we can all identify with not wanting to get hit by cars. I think that is universal. Oh, no problem, DJ John 125. Good to see you. Yeah, perhaps Dan is behind the Nancy quilt. Very potentially. I do want to visit New York City at some point because I do want to see, you know, all the amazing museums and art galleries, and I may be visiting with Dan, visiting with Francisco. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, getting hit by a car sounds really unpleasant. So yeah, I think with Frogger, that's what I'm identifying with, not with the idea of being a frog. The universal. Like I said, humans have a lot in common, in that most of us don't want to get hit by cars. I'm not going to say all, but most. Yeah, Dan is in his basement, crushed under a pile of hardware. Judith Butler's Lover, that could be fair, very fair. Oh, Deluxe Text hasn't been to NYC in over 20 years. Yeah, I've been to Boston, I've been to Philadelphia, I've been to Seattle. It's funny because yeah, you'd think New York would definitely be on that list, just never got around to it. No, gosh, Judith Butler's Lover was hit by a car once, cannot recommend. Ugh. I empathize deeply. Yeah, Dan died after being crushed by MT-32 just the way he wanted it. I only think he has 2 of those, so it would be difficult for him to get crushed by them. But I will never say never. You know what? I do kind of like how weird the handle turned out. And it can always be changed, but there's something about it that appeals to me. Yes, Crash Less. Yeah, the MT-32 was the crushing leader. Yeah, it was the beginning of an avalanche. Yes, Dan's death will never be solved because no one knows what an MT-32 is. I certainly don't. It's some kind of a synth. Oh, you know what? I think the wooden part of the handle has to be moved a bit. Or I have to just redraw a bit of that handle, which is probably closer to the truth. Yeah. Duplicate this. I still don't have the handle quite right. Yes, Bill and I agree. Boys also have a lot of biological awkwardness at puberty, and if if any of the things that you describe in the chat would be addressed by Pixar, I wonder what kind of uproar there would be. The typical boy embarrassing moments in puberty. Davor says, like, if I were watching a movie with totally alien characters who only experienced alien emotions transmitted by pheromones, I would fall asleep. Yeah, I guess they would be humans usually in most movies. So. Oh wow, Dave, Deluxe Text, you could do 4 hours, New York City 4 hours drive. Definitely doable. Aw, Fargus Green says some of those problems don't go away. Aw. What's great, actually, just to Jeff and Dave were about, you guys could enjoy the same exact movie, just completely, in different ways, which is kind of wonderful. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think about how I enjoy movies and stuff, and if I'm empathizing with the characters or not, or if I can identify with the characters or what. I'm gonna have to think about that one. I don't actually know. Yeah, Dave, we're also, yeah, like the word that the semantics of what we're discussing could also be the issue too, of course. Yeah, Pascal LaRue, sometimes when you revisit a movie, your experience with it can change. My mom always recommended, for books that are really good, if you read them at different times of your life, you'll get different things out of them. Her favorite book is To Kill a Mockingbird. And yeah, she's read it like a bunch of times throughout her life, and every time she does, there's something new in it. Same with video games as well, yeah. Vargas Green asks, can you think of any movie main character you didn't care about and how that affected your enjoyment of the movie? Yeah, I'm sure if I didn't care about the characters, I probably enjoyed it less. How does white and light cyan look on the handle? I would probably do. Actually, I don't know. I don't use very much white at all. Come to think of it. So I mean, looking at the forest scene, I don't think there's any white in that scene at all. I use it extremely sparingly. I might use it in touches on the handle to show how bright it is, and maybe on like a touch here on the lip of the rim, eventually. But yeah, very sparingly indeed. BMD nerd doesn't need to relate. I like to observe. Eden Waith, when we played Monkey Island 2, enjoyed it more the second time around. The current light cyan could be white, and the dark would be light cyan. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I probably wouldn't do it, Patong. It's just my own style. I feel like the white is so bright. It could work. Like, it definitely could work. Oh, Justin Jeffries. That's fun. So you're joining us with a drink on Tuesdays. What's your drink of choice? I'm just trying to think of a movie where I didn't care really about the characters, but also found it really enjoyable. I'm gonna give that one a think. Oh, Deluxe Tux gave up on Inside Llewellyn Davis? I have not seen that one. Uh, Patoing, Patoing says, when it comes to characters, I have issues with unredeemably awful people. That's why I can't watch Always Sunny. Yeah, I don't. I actually haven't watched Always Sunny in Philadelphia myself. I wonder how I would feel about it. Yeah, it's a good question because I'm just trying to think because usually when you're enjoying something you don't think about how or why you're enjoying it, but I think that it definitely deserves consideration. Judith Butler's Lover says, what people who are not familiar with color theory and painting might know is that white is an extremely cold color. Seems wrong because it's an achromatic color, but in practice it really functions as a cold color. There's actually different colors of white that get used, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just in general, like if you'll notice in any screenshot of the Crimson Diamond, there is almost no white anywhere to be seen, and I don't. That was something I didn't even think about really. But yeah, like there's titanium white, which is very white, and then there's zinc white, which is kind of warmer but more transparent. I don't know. Do you ever even like comedy movies? If I find out it's funnier if I care about them. Yeah, it does depend on the white baton. Yeah. Yeah, EGA white is yeah FFFFF, which is it still feel I don't know. It still feels cold to me. Oh, Foggish Green doesn't like Seinfeld for the same reasons. It can last a couple episodes, but then it gets just depressed. I don't care about the characters at all. They're not even interestingly hateable. That's actually a really good example of Foggish Green, and I actually do quite enjoy Seinfeld, but I didn't watch all of it. So I take that for what you will. Oh, therefore, you don't really agree with regarding white and a cool color. Yeah, and the context, of course, is extremely important when dealing with any of this stuff with the color, and with like enjoyment of TV or film with unsympathetic characters. I guess we can call them. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. Yeah, like yeah, if it's snow, it's cold. If it's in the middle of an explosion, it can be considered white hot. A BMD nerd likes adventure games that start as a nice normal but have dark moments. Yeah, I think it's nice to have a blend of stuff, a blend of feelings. Yeah, I find Judith Butler's Lover. I do find that the white in EGA is quite bright for me, and yeah, I do tend to avoid it. Although I can't really think if I don't know if there's really any dark moments in in the Crimson Diamond really. I'm trying to think of what should be worked on next because a bit of the slightly crooked handle is kind of working. I might have to start getting to light and shadow, which is stuff I don't care for personally. I've never been strong on it, and I tend to avoid it, but it can't be avoided forever. Well, yeah, like white is. If I just look at most white, I tend to think of it as cold. I think myself. Or just too bright. I'm trying to imagine what should happen next. I might start getting into the dithering of it, because that's where we're going to get some additional. Although let me try. You know, I'm going to try. I'm going to try having some light touches with the cyan instead of the white and see what that does. Oh, King's Quest 7. Oh, Dark Moments in King's Quest 7. Broken Swords I've never played. Tangle Tower. Tangle Tower was also showing at Adventure X in 2019. I kind of like what that's doing right now. I like this cyan. At first blush, I like the cyan on this. Yeah, Patong, I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised at how this is working. So I might go with that. In fact, I think in my illustrations I also tend to avoid it. Hold on, let me just do a quick check, because I want to... Just going to see my big head for a second. I'm going to just open up some of my artwork. I'm going to pull out some examples and we can discuss about the role of white. And I really don't use it very often. And honestly, it's not something I've really thought about, which is kind of funny. Okay, I'm just going to open a bunch of stuff. Okay. I will swap back to Photoshop shortly. So we're gonna have a mini look at some art show stuff. Let's see. Yes, yeah, the chat history, like. I also have that problem. Oh, thank you for the subscribe, Just a Jeffy. Okay, so I'm gonna let's take a look at some of my actual illustration. Control Alt. And there are also different kinds of blacks. Patoing as well says, and it's true. So let's see. This one does have a fair amount of white in it. This is a portrait of Willie Nelson that I did. And it's very warm, and the white is used only. I only seem to use it for skin, and there's a few in some detail areas. There would be some. So there's that. Sgt. Pepper, again, not a lot of white in it. Mostly just skin. Some of the areas in some of these instruments has it. Lines in the clothing. Marshmallows. And the salt. For the salt and pepper. And I do tend to go pretty warm. Usually my artwork is mostly warm colors. This was for a piece on animal trafficking, or whatever it's called, smuggling of exotic animals. And even here, the lightest color is this kind of yellow color here. And so there is white. The only white that exists in here is sort of where it's in the eyes of the animals. A little bit there. Eggshell, yeah, eggshell. Thank you, Patine. Oh, J-Matt says, I love the cornflakes rooster for good morning for the Sgt. Pepper artwork. Yeah, I did a ton of references in that thing, but now I don't remember any of them because my brain is a colander. This one is also, you can see there is white in here, but it's not even really in these eyes. I don't think that's white. Oh, it's almost white. So like the white in their eyes is a bit white. Also in this beard is a bit of white. Pretty sparingly. This is, this is from the game. And the only white in this whole screen is the steam coming up from the pot and the kettle, and the label on the jam jar. Yes, but you always pack pangolins in your suitcase, Deluxe Tax. Yeah, the glass highlight. So, okay, and if we want to go back to the Sgt. Pepper piece and talking about contextual look, temperature, color temperature, what it would look like. The blue, so the blue here with the white accent versus the red. Yeah, I can see that. But yeah, it just is my own personal preference. I don't very much. Whoops! I just closed it again. Let me open it again. I shall open it again. Here it is. This tone, it should just be perfectly white. Yeah, it's perfectly white. I think it is FFF, but I don't know because it's just right now it's just showing, it's not showing hex values in Photoshop. And can you show hex values in Photoshop? Yeah, okay, good. So that is the same. Okay, yeah, so this is the pure white of nothing. Yeah. Yeah. So that's this one. There's this. Nope. This one, there is white in the beer mug and the foam and his eyes, and yeah, there's some touches, there's some hits. Candy corn, not even, like, these aren't. The marshmallows aren't. And I do tend to use a lot of warm browns and reds. Like, this is a warm brownish red for my line work. I don't know why, I just really like this color. Although here's one where there's white and the line work is dark. And that would be the same. I use the same white for everything. So if we want to compare the relative warmth and coolness of white, this is the same white. But this one's got the dark blue line. Deluxe Tech says, white is a cool color. Case in point, I was shoveling 5 inches of snow 3 days ago. Yeah. This one also has the dark blue. I don't really, honestly, I don't think too much about color temperature, but and how they relate to each other myself. I just kind of try to use whatever I think. This one, of course, uses white to define the shapes in the gaps between the design. This one is probably the most white you've seen in any of the pieces that I've done. And I did this as a conscious attempt to not do my same style, really. Oh yeah, I like the book juggling piece a lot too. But yeah, so this is all the same white. I use the same white in everything. Without really thinking about whether it's not or whether I should. This again, white, that same white, perfectly white. Yeah, it does. I think it does depend. Like this one here, there is white in some spots, so I mean it should be white there. Oh, yeah. So it's perfectly white here in her hair, but this would probably look warm because it's a very warm piece, even though the line work is blue. Yeah, Deluxe Tux, I was going for a certain style or a certain look. And you say that the one with the three women, that's an Alice in Wonderland piece. It reminds you of illustrations from old books from the 50s and 60s. Yeah. The color palette, and just the way that the faces are separated in separated shapes from the rest of the designs. Yeah. But oh, it's 10:30. Okay, I think we can leave this off for now. But I do really like the touches of the blue and how that's going to eventually look. So I think what I might do is I might look at some, and I might collect for next art stream some examples of rendering metals with the cyans, as well as a blend between the grays, and see what I can come up with. And I feel like this bucket will get complicated because we have the basic shape for the most part, but it's going to come down to how we decide how we're going to use the colors and where. Kurt Rocket Runner, great to see you. Thank you. I'm glad you like the bucket handle. I'm just still figuring stuff out. It might not be that color. It's just like to separate it from the shape of the bucket. But I'm pretty happy with how this looks now. Yeah, there's a lot of cyan metal in Space Quest. I'm looking for like the more realistic rendering stuff. So when I'm thinking of metal, I'm thinking of like the suit of armor in Colonel's Bequest, or the I'm trying to think of another. Oh yeah, and the magnifying glass at the very beginning for the copy protection. That's what I'm kind of thinking of. But let's just save this in my drive. Yes, save over what I had. It's fine. Control tab. Okay. But I do like where it's going. We're gonna move on. It's time to move on to the Let's Play. We're going to start our Let's Play of the Colonel's Bequest, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. But before we do, I'm going to do the thing where I mute and then I eat a bunch of fruit. That's what we're going to do before we get into the Let's Play. Let's go! First we're going to eat a selection of fruit. We have these grapes. These are cotton candy grapes. They're very delicious. And apple slices and a clementine. Mukbang. Oh no, I'm gonna mute it. Patarng. No, I don't do the mukbang thing. I'm not gonna subject you guys to the sounds of me eating. But I guess what I can do, instead of having it a big screen of me eating, why don't we go back to looking at some lovely screens of Tachyon Dreams 2, which is free on itch.io. It came out today or yesterday, something, by Cosmic Boy 3. But yeah, I'm going to turn off the mic and I'm just going to scroll through this. Okay. So yeah, I mean these screens from Tachyon Dreams 2 I think are wonderful and a really good example of some of the stuff we were talking about in terms of creating a tonal values without even actually using dithering. There is so this top of this horizon line is dark blue, but then it starts breaking up, and the line starts breaking up a little bit, and then even more for that third line um, to give this kind of feeling of depth, even with just a simple pattern of lines, which is really nice. This one people really like is the pillars, and yeah, it's really awesome and awesome for a lot of reasons. We see a lot of light and shadow happening. The tops of the pillars and the tops of these designs here are picked out with the bright red, which you might naturally feel like you'd want to use the light magenta because the pillar itself is dark magenta, but using red it gives the actual feeling of what the light is doing, a warm feeling, which is kind of nice. So yes, wonderful looking game. Definitely check it out and enjoy. I played the first one and I had a lot of fun with it. But we are going to move on to what is it called? Indiana Jones and Last Crusade, 1989. Lucasfilm Games, Ron Gilbert, Noah Falstein, David Fox were the game designers. The art was Steve Purcell, Martin Cameron, James A. Dollar, Mike Ebert, and James McLeod. And they've worked on a lot of LucasArts games. Between them, a lot of them worked on Zack McCracken, Maniac Mansion, The Secret of Monkey Island, among many other things. Sam and Max, of course, Steve Purcell is very well known for. Uh-oh, prepare for a bunch of pixel hunting. Okay. I am not good at games. We're going to try playing this for a little bit, see how far we get. I'm going to turn down the music because it's going to be pretty loud. If you'd like the music to be louder, please let me know, but we're going to get in on this. No hints for now. That could change really quickly. Oh, that's not that's not what I wanted. Okay, that's still open. Okay. Here we go. Deluxe Tux says that Harrison Ford ate a strict diet of pixels for 8 months to prepare for his role in this game. It sounds completely plausible. Oh. Okay. We're going to be treated to the glorious theme music for Indiana Jones. Let me know if it's gloriously loud or gloriously soft or perfect. Too loud? How do we feel? Too quiet? Okay, that's easy to fix. Much too quiet. How's that? Can you hear me? Can you hear the game? This is good. Okay. It's beautiful. Choo choo. Oh. Tiny bit softer. Okay, smidge. Okay, there we go. Music down by 15%. Okay, I think that's 15%. Look at these. Oh my goodness. Oh, I can. Ah. It's so cute. Although I will say I wish that the text was down by where the animation is because it's hard for me to look at the animation and read the text at the same time. Okay. Yes, let's see. Yeah, I can't. I don't know. There's no pause. I don't know what it is. Okay, translation notes. Dr. Indiana Jones. So this is actually cracked. Look at this. You got Willie and Marion's phone numbers, which is kind of nice. Of course, Willie was his lady in the Temple of Doom. Marion was his lady in Raiders. Remember to translate the parchment for Brody. Refer to translation table. Yes, this was some copper. Good work, Indy. Look at this. This is okay. First of all, we got to see Indy in his traditional garb, but now look at him. He's all, he's in a suit. You couldn't even recognize him as Indy. His hair is black. This is entirely too many verbs. This is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Okay. But I will say that one thing, of course, Sierra has going for it is that it did have text parser games, and I don't know, did LucasArts make any text parser games? This is wonderful. Look. I haven't played like a Scum game for a long time. You'll have to use the mallet. Okay. So they do have U's, which is. I am not crazy. I'm not crazy about the interface, the Scum interface. Okay, so Jesse Jeffrey confirms LucasArts did not make any text parser games that I know of. Okay. Oh, I got the mallet. Oh. Oh my gosh, that's funny. I'd picked up the mallet, but it was chained to the bell, so I couldn't take it. There's a bucket over here, though, you guys. Can I look at it? Oh wow, that scrolls. Oh my gosh, look at that! I love this guy's like he's shadow boxing, like literally shadow boxing. Um, and the shadow is animated on the wall. That's fantastic. Oh, Edenway says I think Fate of Atlantis improved on being able to look at things in a scene. What is not a verb. This is a slap in the face to real verbs. The dreaded what is verb. Too many verbs. Okay, so I didn't even see the what is. What is bucket? What is? No? What is? What does what is do? What does this do? What is this? Oh, see, but BMD Nerd says there's another reason why I like Sierra over LucasArts. Their 5 senses system is better than Scum. Try if you can use shortcuts. Yeah, because this mouse thing is kind of getting to me. Look. No, I don't know. I want to know what is does. What is? Judith Butler's lover, have a lovely night. Thank you for being here as always. I'm glad you got to watch the trailer. And it's always good to have you. Everyone here is so wonderful about like sharing information and discussing stuff, and it's one of the few places I get that right now, so I really appreciate it. Oh my gosh, eating with you had to control Monkey Island 1 on Tandy with no mouse. Yeah. This bucket is really good. I'm not gonna lie. I've never played this. Okay, it might be for just stuff in the inventory. Okay, which I don't have. Okay. Yeah, this going down to the bottom of the screen then coming back up. I don't remember being so bothered by it before. Also, I can't seem to look at very many things. Is it broken? What's going on? And is there any... There's no talk? Oh, there's talk. How come talk is grayed out? This is very confusing. What is that is the question. Because we can't hover. Okay, oh, Bill Coon says hovering over objects did not exist yet. What is literally needed for and is only for hovering to see what objects are? So that is that supposed to work? Oh, it does. Okay, so it. Oh wait, no, wait. What is? What is box? Oh, okay. Well, that's fascinating. So you can hover with the what is. Okay. Um. Thank you. Appreciate it. What's the? And I can't talk to anybody. Why is this? Why did they make this all? Like, why is this here? Huh. How do you guys feel about the footstep sound in games? What is? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. What is locker room? Can I go back in here? Oh, wow. Oh. Okay. Yeah, these people are clearly not important enough to talk to. Not to say, Patoing, that I was trying to steal the shoes and towels. I just wanted to, like, touch them, look at them. I wouldn't have taken them with me. Probably. Footsteps are fine if the pitch changes. Ironically, footstep sounds make a room feel quieter. Very, very true. Why does he have the hat on when he's boxing? This one's not too bad. I'm ambivalent in general on footstep sounds. Okay, go easy on me. I'm a bit out of shape. Okay, so what is this all? What are the what? How do I do this? What's going on? What are the ingredients to do this? Okay, there is a pause. That's nice. It is some keys. Okay, so I found that key. Or numpad. I don't have a numpad. Uh-oh. So it's numbers. It's numbers. Okay, it's numbers. Numbers? Okay, so I've got that one. That's the groin punch. Okay. So one makes him back up. Okay, they all do something? Okay, that one is that punch. This is not good. This is not... Yeah, with, I'm not crazy about fighting in games. I'm not even watching, I'm just pressing the buttons. We killed him. 10 minutes later. Okay. Want to go again? No, I don't want to go again. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, Kurt Rocket Runner, your older brother had this on his black and white Macintosh back in the day. The higher resolution was super impressive to you as a 9-year-old. Yeah, this graphics always were, and then I stopped being impressed by graphics at some point. Probably when it started going 3D. We should have looked at the manual. You're right. Reading the manual. Yeah, BMD Nerd, have you had experience with this fighting system? I don't, that was not an auspicious start, because I don't think I'll be able to ask any of the Nazis that we encounter whether they'll go easy on me or not. I remember it not being great when I played it. Oh gosh, I'm getting concerned. Okay, so that's good. So this whole place exists to teach us that we need to learn how to do that. This whole place exists to teach us we have to read the manual. Oh, I had to look for a second to find out where I was in this scene because I didn't recognize Indy again. Oh, look, there's a painting. I wonder if you can offer some insight. No. Okay, what is? Oh, I can talk to somebody. Display case. What is display case? Okay, we can talk. Let's talk. Talk to lady. No, we can't. I guess we can only talk to Marcus Brody, I'm assuming. But let's look at that display case. Pretty cool. Okay, numeric keypad is your controller for fighting. The left column is for retreat from. Middle column is blocking. The right column is for punching. I've got bad news, Bill, because I don't have a numpad. Oh, wow. Just Jeffy just picked up a physical copy of Sierra Championship Boxing, relevant somehow. Oh, that's true. Like, now he doesn't have his 5 o'clock shadow anymore, Dave. And so when he changes into his boxing outfit, he like, puts makeup on his face to make it look like he's got 5 o'clock shadow. I didn't even read what this says. Various treasures. Okay, cool. Oh, wow. So this is a lot like the movie. This is really cute. Oh my gosh, look how cute this is. Whoa. Huh. Yeah, this is epic. Duke Nukem is here. Wow, okay, so... Look. Students. They're very angry. Let's look at this painting. No? Okay. What if I just leave? I can just leave. Okay, so... Talk to Marcus? Actually, I'm going to save it, and I actually managed to find what that shortcut was. Save. Start. Wow. BMD Nerd, you had to use a walkthrough? I anticipate the same, that I will need a walkthrough. It just looks great. You know, I'm a really big fan of the yellow and the white dithering. They did this in Quest for Glory 2. And I think it's wonderful. It softens up that white that we were talking about. Let's see, look. Trophy case. Archaeology department won a bunch of trophies. Look at these. Oh my god, look how cute these guys are. Look at this little guy with his little pencil. Look at his little pencil. I gotta say, I'm probably just gonna look at things for the most part now. Oh wow, there's a water fountain. Yes, indie. I forget what they were called, Patoing. Yeah, IQ is. I read it before and I don't know what it means. Yeah, the mouse miss, the wallpaper is dithered. It is. It's really subtle, and I kind of love that subtlety. The class photo is like that. The fact that we can see that this is a class photo just by how the brown dots are arranged to indicate faces, and like the front row has legs and stuff. That is kind of a work of art. And the fact that at the top row of this class photo, the brown dots are along the top that look like shoulders. That's magic. That's magical to me. I want a drink. Yes. I might want to scan the scenes with what is first. Okay. I mean, if they had to do it that way, I'm fine. Ooh. Who doesn't love a bulletin board in an adventure game? And this is something I actually... I love this. This shadow cast by this opening here in this area. This is wonderful. This is glorious. And you can see how where the shadow intersects with these paneling lines, it turns black. It's kind of magical. Although I do feel like I want the shadow color to be different on the wall versus the paneling. because I don't think they would look like that. I either want maybe this part to be the part on the wood to be a different color, or the shadow cast on the wall to be a different color, or dithered or something. Indy looks more like Captain Von Trapp. Indy, yeah, he's almost like he's got a high collar on. He really, I don't know why they decided to make his hair black. I guess so he stands out better. Read everything on the bulletin board. Okay. Well, that's true. Just a Jeffy, good point. Not sure why, but I love that LucasArts Game Master cursor is always flashing, like it's freaking out that it even exists. I guess it's so we don't lose track of it, but it's kind of really flashing in a very distracting way. But yeah, let's look at this bulletin board. First sale, complete set of books. Oh, Marion Ravenwood. Ravenswood. I didn't know her name was Ravenswood. I thought it was Ravenwood. Cool. Let's look at the blue piece. 6,000 rats, 500 snakes. Call S. Spielberg. That's adorable. I also love how the paper is not flat. It almost looks like these ones have been curled. Some of them are flat, some of them are not, and it's that kind of variety which can make something look really lively. Oh, it is Ravenwood, so that's an error. So this one here. Oh, build your own rice casserole. No, that's not what I wanted. That's funny. Oh, wait a second. So it doesn't even matter which one I click on because it's just okay. Classic Model T complete with fuzzy dice. That's weird. Okay, Patoing says the flashing is way less aggressive on a CRT because of phosphor persistence. Yeah, it would look kind of glow. It might feel like it's glowing more in and out. Yeah, so this is interesting. Yeah, Professor Ravenswood. So it's like a weird spelling error to Ravenwood. It doesn't matter where you click. But that is really cute. Push the door open. I love also this type of I don't know what this window is above the rooms that can open up for ventilation, and they had that in Dagger of Amon-Ra as well. I wish they still did that. Whatever, I forget what this type of window is called. But it's wonderful. Open door. There's a class in session? Nice. Yes. Deluxe Tech says, this game is made by LucasArts does not like they had any knowledge of the IP in question or any way of confirming details. Slip transom. Edenway, thank you. It's called a transom. These beautiful windows that occur over doors that can be opened for ventilation. It's a lot of nice attention to detail, though. It is a bit strange how when it gets to this part, the paneling is different. And I don't know if that's supposed to be a lighting effect or what. But what's interesting to me is that some parts of the shadow have a light gray line. They're lined with light gray, and this part isn't. I guess that's to distinguish them. It's a nice detail that I probably would not have thought of doing. Yes, transom. Yes, nice. The dither on this looks frosted. You're right, Patong. I was thinking about that, and I thought at first I didn't like it, but you're right. These are supposed to be frosted glass, so it is quite effective. I really like this guy with his little pencil, though. And this might be the best thing we've seen so far, is this class photo. It's so abstracted, but it's still totally readable as a photo. So I should probably talk to Marcus Brody. I don't know, I feel like this is going to send me off somewhere. Talk to Marcus. Ooh. Expensive Mexican statue. Oh, see, that's funny. He broke it in half to show him the cheap cross-section, which Indy's father does in Last Crusade in the movie, because he knocks over that Ming vase, and the Ming vase, Sean Connery says that it's a fake. You can tell by the cross-section, so it's kind of interesting that like father like son, or like son like father. Well, no, like father like son. What do you mean, considering his situation? Oh, we've hired a new geologist who fancies himself quite the archaeologist. I wish that I could advance the dialogue myself instead of having it pass by. Oh, interesting. Bilkin says the game makers had the movie script, but the movie wasn't finalized. So there are happily some differences. Some things appear in the game that don't make it into the movie. That's fascinating. Nice. I know. Either way, there was a sound, but it was just running water for the drinking fountain. I don't think we heard Indy slurping it. John Reed. John Reed was not in the movie. Ish, if we. Oh, I see. Yeah, we can discuss my honorarium later over drinks and dinner and champagne. Nice. Oh, that's interesting. Also, we had the audio cue that Marcus opened the door and left. But he must have sprinted down this hallway because that was pretty fast. Another class in session. I do like that touch of having these other doors here because they would make sense for them to be there, but it's a nice nice way to explain away the fact that we can't actually be in those rooms. I love that efficiency. Okay. No two trophies are alike. Good point, Mousemas. I wasn't even looking that closely. What is students? Nothing else? Oh, I love this pencil. Look at that pencil on the desk. Fantastic. We can talk. Talk to Irene. Okay. Oh, I love how animated she is. She's not happy. This is delightful. Talk to students. Okay. Deluxe likes you'd prefer a game where you just play Indiana teaching history rather than go on a wild adventure. Do you wonder if Indiana Jones would have been a good professor? Because I know he, in a way, that he's not, because he's not good with the administrative stuff, as is pretty clear from this. But do you think he was actually a good lecturer? Do you think? Yeah. Do you think he was an interesting and well organized lecturer who would be a good teacher to have? Davor, have a lovely evening. Thanks for coming as always. Deluxe Talks, you think he would be a good professor? Yeah, Jim, yeah, he is pretty passionate, and that's my favorite type of professor is the ones that are really interested in that material. And from this, like the little bits of footage we have in the movies of him, like briefly lecturing, he does seem like he would come off that way. He's very passionate about the subject matter. Yeah. Mouse thinks I don't think so. He's all about adventure. Dayboy says I don't think you learned things from his class, but he has rad stories. BMD Nerd had a history professor who'd been everywhere and he had stories for days. I think Indy would be the same. Oh, and Patoing, very good. These are very good points. I think he would be someone who could make you interested in the subject matter. And that is important, too, for teachers to do. So you might not get your... although, let's hope you can get a grade out of this. He probably would give everyone Bs, I'm assuming, because he's too busy. Just a moment, folks. I'm sure we can work... It's funny, because I'm trying to think of what the character would do and like what Harrison Ford would say coming out of his mouth. Just a moment, folks. I'm sure we can work something out. He wouldn't say that. He'd probably say, excuse me, but I've got to be going. Number 2, this is Out of My Way, Kids. This is a scene. It is a scene from the movie. I do remember the scene, but I forget what he says. I almost want to recreate exactly the movie. Out of my way, kids. We want our card signed. Let's talk about this calmly. That sounds like something he would say. Perhaps you should find another faculty advisor. I love all the animation here. This is a geology professor who knows archaeology. Oh, this is funny. Okay, so we needed to talk to Marcus Brody about this. So we're not gonna see all these people leave this room. That's not gonna animate. No, of course not. Okay. I never thought I'd get past them. Okay, yeah, so Jim Matt says this is from the actual movie. Okay, Irene. Put everyone's name on a list in the order they arrived, and I'll see each and every one of them in turn. And then he leaves. Yes, that's true. Oh wow, Bilkin says Harrison Ford was also going to play the school principal in E.T. I think they filmed it, but Steven decided to not show any adults' faces except Mom until much later in the movie. That's fascinating, Bilkun. I love this room. This is kind of a good inspirational piece for me when I start making the scene where Nancy Maple is working as a clerk in the Royal Canadian Museum. This type of scene is wonderful. I love the fact that there's like the furnace here and everything. So it feels kind of like an afterthought that he's in this room. It's a wonderful room. Oh wow, that scene is still on the ET Laserdisc of Harrison Ford as the school principal in ET. That's fantastic. I love this. I love this. Okay, but we're gonna save it because we made the slightest bit of progress. Save. This office, I'm gonna screen cap it. I'm gonna steal shamelessly from this scene. Okay. Yeah, let's scrub it. Let's scrub across it. Totem pole. This. Oh my gosh. Crystal ball. I thought that said crystal skull for a second because there's a skull right beside it. Oh my gosh. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. I love how you can tell like that's a very period accurate fan. Junk mail. Oh my gosh. Crystal shard. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is gonna take forever in this room because I'm gonna just look at every little bit. Map. Ooh, metal. That globe is fantastic too. Oh my gosh, there's so much to look at. Okay, we're gonna do every single one of these things. Hot water. Oh, sorry, it's a hot water heater. My gosh, my gosh, I love it. Okay. Oh well, Jim Matt says they edited it in for the Laserdisc release, but it's not on every one, so it's a collector's item. Dot dot dot, and it belongs in a museum. Thank you. Yeah, imagine. Deluxe Tech, you're right. Imagine filming Harrison Ford for your movie and then later going, nope. Yeah, the metal, absolutely, the metal draws focus. Mm. Because it is that beautiful yellow color. It's kind of dangling off the side of the edge of the table, so it's kind of breaking a continuous line, which will also draw attention. But yeah, I mean, if there's stuff that draws the eye, that metal would definitely be one of the things. But we're gonna look at everything. This is gonna be. Oh, there's a pick. Okay, totem pole. Oh, that kind of looks like Max from Sam and Max. That face. I think the squirrels on top is pretty cute. Look, crystal ball. I see some difficult times ahead. Ooh. Can I pick it up? Nope. These are all wonderful. Look, mask. It's kind of funny how he has to like move around in the room to look at stuff. Oh wow. Grinderslav says, ooh, the EGA version totem pole has a very different looking Sam and Max. It's clearly them in the VGA version. Yeah, I can definitely see Max, but the Sam, I'm not even getting a Sam here. Is it the one just on top of him? Sculpture 101. This, yeah, I mean, I don't think I could have clicked on any of that stuff. I'm not going to look at the junk mail because it's probably what I have to do. Oh. Just some old skulls. What's interesting about these windows is you can see how we can see kind of the inside rim of one of these, like almost as like it's got a sill, but we don't see it on the one beside it. Which either says something about the way this is lit, or I don't know. Like, I mean, for me, I would have just mirrored, like, I just would have copied and pasted them and not thought twice about it, but there's a reason, must be a reason why they did it this way. Look at the statue on the desk. I'm gonna get around to it. I'm gonna look to all the less obvious things first. Sankara stone. Oh, okay. The Sankara stone's from Raiders, isn't it? Look jar. It's full of solvent. Ooh, I want the solvent to help me solve things. It's terrible. No, too dangerous. I don't even know why I did the U. Oh, this is all junk. Okay. Look at water heater. It's very warm. Of course, there's a switch too. Look. Globe. It's the Earth. Hmm. Oh, he won the medal in a boxing tournament? Hmm. There is a kind of simple fudge 1 point perspective in the room, hence the windows. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, the headpiece. That the headpiece to the stuff around the golden necklace thing. He just said it's a no. The medal is he won at boxing. He said. Yeah, so it's not the piece from Raw, the Raw headpiece. But the Sankara stones are. Oh, the Sankara stones are from Temple of Doom, aren't they? Just Khan, good to see you. Welcome back. Yeah, because the perspective. Yeah, Protecting beat me to it. Yeah, the 1 point perspective. Gotcha. Um, it's all very fascinating. I'm sure all of this would be very useful. Strange map drawn with crayons. This is probably, of course, this is the Maltese Falcon. I'm assuming. 1,000-year-old falcon. Okay, well, we're gonna look at the junk mail. Junk mail. Just junk mail? Oh, we got junk mail. Just junk mail. Okay. Look at the statue on the desk. Statue on the desk. This statue? Thing? Yeah, oh, this statue you meant. Okay. Oh, the crayon map's Zach McCracken. Okay, there's a lot of Zach McCracken references. I have not played Zach McCracken, which is definitely on my list of things I want to play. But yeah, let's turn off the switch. See if that does anything. I'm assuming I can turn this off. No? What is? Except the junk mail. I can't pick up any junk. Oh, you can die in Zach McCracken. We got the junk mail early. We don't have to worry about the babblefish on the Vogon ship. Yeah, Can we open these windows? Nice. Ooh, that's beautiful. Look at that. We probably can't open this one. Oh. Would we just leave through the window? I know he does go through the window in the movie. Oh, look how cute that is. Look how tiny. I love the change in scale. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's Walter Donovan. This is great. Oh my goodness. I wish there was music in here. Look at this. This is this is great. Oh my gosh. Jim Matt, you like Zach? I gotta play Zach. Oh my gosh, this is exactly like the movie. Just missing the music though. Any man's dream. Every man's dream. Including your father. Yes. I'm transfixed. Indy, come over here. I'm trying to tell you something. There you are. What, does the grill actually glow? I don't remember that part. Oh wow. Okay, we got dropped off. Marsman says ScumVM engine is unique because it allows defining walkable areas with sprite scaling. Most other engines just do walkable, unwalkable. I think AGS has sprite scaling as well, but I never use it. Grindislav, can you confirm whether or not AGS has sprite scaling? I think it does, right? Yeah, it does. I know that for a fact. I just never. Jim Matt says in the movie there's a subtle piano music playing in the background, and it's John Williams doing a major key take on the Imperial March. I love the music in that scene, in that scene with Walter Donovan. Yep, yeah. So sprite scaling is an Adventure Game Studio, but now I'm back here. Well, now that we saw that cutscene, I'm gonna save it. This is wonderful. After Donovan. Okay. Yeah, I guess the IQ. I don't know why it says Series 10, Episode 10. Wonderful. So now we're back here. So I guess. I guess we have to meet up with Marcus at some point. I love this tiny little guy. Look how tiny. Okay. I think I'll call it at 11:30. But I'm having a really good time so far, partly because I haven't had to do anything really yet. We'll see how long it takes for that to change. The time has passed. Oh, there's still a class. And you're right. So let's look at these trophies and how they are all different. That's wonderful. And they're not arranged perfectly either. I love the shadow being cast on the boards. And this is a really good reference, like I said, for the part where Nancy is in the museum. Okay. Oh, that's new. Oh, I can't look at anything in here. Okay. Yeah, they didn't cheap out of mirroring the trophies. They did everything by the book. Oh, I'm back here. Um. What did I miss? Oh. Do I have to pick up more stuff in here? I have to clean this off, I'm sure, right? Okay. Okay, let's keep doing this. Aha! Aha! Let's look. Look at this, you guys. Package. It's a package from my father. Whom looks important, but I'll leave this other junk here. Okay. It's my father's Grail diary. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah. Right. Can I use it? Do I need to use it? Look. Okay, I can't do anything with it, but I will save it. I found a thing. Save it. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, so, yeah, I want a close-up of the diary, too. That's kind of what I was hoping for. I can't talk or travel. Actually, was travel lit up before? That doesn't do anything. Okay. Can I travel when I'm back out on the street? Is that a possibility? I don't think I need anything in these places. Oh, did the Judge Khan asked, didn't the Grail Diary come packaged with this game as copy protection? I know that there is a manual. The travel becomes a thing later. So I wonder what I have to do now. Yeah, there is some manual that comes with it. And I do have like the GOG PDF. Oh, there's travel. Nice. To Henry's house, to the plane to Venice. Oh my gosh. Well, definitely we know what we have to do next, but can we even go to Venice straight? Will they let us do that? Will they let us screw ourselves over that much? Before travel. Before travel. Yeah, God cannot duplicate the joy of physical stuff in boxes. I agree. But can we just go? Can we go to the plane? Can we just go? Ha! New York to Newfoundland to the Azores to Lisbon to Venice. Oops, we forgot to visit our house. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh my gosh. I knew it was you. You have your father's eyes. Oh my god, and my mother's ears, but the rest belong to you. Yes. I love it. Oh, it's ridiculous. This is wonderful. Yeah, the guy on the right, maybe he's got his legs up on the woman's, like, lap. Sujak, hello. Oh, I forgot to change what I was doing, my tag. Too late. Welcome to chat. This is so cute. Oh my god, he even looks like the guy in the movie. Oh my gosh. Look at those gargoyles. Oh my gosh. This is great. I mean, I clearly did the wrong thing here, and I'm supposed to go to my house first, or Henry's house first. Henry Jones, and I did not. Ooh, we've got the whip. You can use the whip. The detail on the background, it looks like puppy faces, the buildings. I missed it. I had to keep track of the dialogue that was just going on. Goose Egg PT, you like how when they talk, their heads move? It's definitely. I feel like that's more of a LucasArts thing, isn't it? Yeah, EGA bookshelves. Yeah, yeah, Bilkin, this is a good time to stop. And this fountain does look just gorgeous. Let's walk to the piazza. And I want to see these puppy dog faces you guys saw. I love the change in scale here too. It's really, really excellent. And these faces are wonderful. Oh, he's disappeared. Oh, see, it took him a while to climb up here, and now the scale has changed. So that's something I would. I don't know. At this time, they probably didn't have dynamic sprite scaling, so they had to like hide Indy and then pop him back up in a place where they could switch his sprite without it being obvious. Where are these dog faces, you guys? Oh, I see them. Yeah, here the dog faces. Grand. Oh, I love that. Like this shading on these buildings is really nice. I'm wondering if what they could have done with these is make them more distant by not using black line to define the windows and things. I still really, really like how it looks. And the cat is adorable. Oh my gosh. I want to put a cat in my game, you guys, but it's a total not necessary thing to do. Oh my god, is everyone just eating spinach? What's going on here? This is great. Look at all these. Look at this guy. Is he like just dumping his face in spinach? That's amazing. This game has so much personality. Look at Lover. This is great. This is great. This is great. I love it. I love it. I don't know. I can't speak for it too much as a game. Oh, I don't want to turn her on. I actually clicked that by accident. It's EGA pesto pasta. I'll have what he's having. The cross leg, yeah. This is fantastic. Everything here is fantastic. I love this woman. They're all eating just spinach restaurant or pesto restaurant. I want to look at this cat. I want to look at the old lady. She's a sweet old Italian woman. Can I see what she's eating? I love the wine and the glass. No, I can't look at the wine. I want to look at the cat. Why would anyone want a cat when they could have a dog? Indy. You know you're not in a good way when even your look message calls you out as a slob. The glass bottle, this is all, like, look at the way that's lit and stuff. All of these little things. I thank you guys for calling attention to all this other stuff. Manhole cover, we know where that goes. But even this woman with her, like, weird two eyes. I love the fact that these characters, their eyes are not black like Indy's because we're not supposed to call attention to them. Bald Bill Murray's Mr. Trottier from Fate of Atlantis. I've not seen I've not played Fate of Atlantis. But yeah, this is a good place to stop off. And yeah, but when we restore the game next art stream, when we continue playing this, I will go to Henry's house and not directly to Italy. I can't believe they even give you that option. Why would they do that? That's so mean. But the game, I love this awning here. Oh my gosh, I'm so pleased. Okay. Let us go to Big Julia, and we're gonna find someone to raid. Happy Crimson Tuesday. Thank you for joining me again. That time flew by so fast. Thank you for the bucket guidance and the advice, the bucket opinions. We're gonna come back to bucket at some point, maybe next week. We'll see. Yeah, I'll let you guys know if and when Dan can join us. But it's always nice to hang out with you guys. Fantastic. I forgot to change the tag. I'm sorry. I like to do it because I get a little badge on my Twitch channel which says, oh, was last playing, most recently was playing, and then I would have had the little. You know what? I'm gonna do it now. Indiana Jones. I'm gonna add it now. Maybe I can earn it. Okay. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. The graphic adventure. It's the graphic adventure. I want the little picture. Done. Okay. That was really late, but anyway, I've done it. Thank you. I've done Draw to Purdy Bucket. Thank you, thank you, thank you. When is next stream? BMD Nerd. All our streams are on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time now, I guess. So EDT, I suppose it's called now. But yeah, 8 p.m., whether it's a music stream or an art stream. Sometimes Dan can't make it until a bit later, so I'll start with a little bit of art, and then we'll raid Dan when he's available, which sometimes happens around 9:30. But we always start at around at 8 p.m. or a little bit after, because Julia is late most of the time. But yeah, if you can come join us again, that would be lovely. Yeah, that cat is like 60 pixels. I need to take another look at that cat. Whee! And yes, the bundle for Ukraine, the Itch.io bundle for Ukraine, in about 2 days, probably less than 2 days, yeah, about 2 days, that'll not be available anymore. So take advantage if you can. It's a deal. It's a steal of a deal. Yeah, and support a good cause. Judge Khan, thank you for coming to stream. I am going to, yeah, start looking for someone to raid. Well, I have my tag up still as, you know what? Just to make this look more legit, I'll keep this up while I decide who to raid. How about that? So in the case someone checks in and doesn't think that we're doing it. That cat, I love it. I love it. It's my instinct and I would immediately go to, I want to put a little pink nose on that cat, and they did not do it. But yes, let's look at who to raid. Of course, I always look for someone raiding the Crimson Diamond. It hasn't happened yet, but one day it will. No. No. No one is playing it. That's fine. Cupid and Angel really done on the right? Okay, well, you know what? While we're deciding who to raid, I will move the camera over. Is the Cupid and the Angel off screen to the right then, I suppose? So let's do that. Oh yes, these guys. Okay, so we'll leave it at this beautiful screen. Next thing we always look for is we look for the Colonel's Bequest. And if anyone else has any suggestions, I am willing to field them. Just off screen to the right. Okay, yeah, sorry, between I missed the other message there. Let's see. Colonel's Bequest not being played right now. Who else? Who do I have on my list? I have. I don't have. I'm not seeing a lot right now. Oh, Robot Spacer's playing Gabriel Knight 3, which is kind of nice. Two more. Oh. Oh, good idea. Anyone playing Tachyon Dreams? Very good point. Tachyon Dreams. No results for Tachyon Dreams. Okay. Mouse Miss, do you have any leads? Not seeing any EGA? Not necessarily EGA. Last week we rated Taco Adventure, so we will be definitely trying to rate someone else to mix it up. At the moment, my instinct is to go to Robot Spacer, who is playing Gabriel Knight 3, Blood of the Sacred, Blood of the Damned. Is that the 3D one? I think it is. Speaking of Tachyon Dreams, I'm just going to put that one up again real quick for us, because I think I'll be rating Robot Spacer. Tachyon Dreams. Carandia, okay, for Jammy Whammy Games. Okay, so let me look up that. Nice art, but different vibe. Okay, vibe. Jammy Whammy Games. Oh, I misspelled. Legend of Carandia. Jamie Whammy Games. That, yeah, you know what? It's always nice to see someone new. So why don't we do that? Okay, we're going to have a raid message. Raid message is going to be... Crimson Diamond folks are politely dropping by. Okay. The raid message will be Crimson Diamond folks are politely dropping by. And of course whatever emojis you might have. We are going to raid Jammy Whammy Games, who's playing The Legend of Carandia. So I'm going to set that up. Raid Jammy Whammy Games. I hope I spelled that right. Okay. I'm really loving The Last Crusade. Just as art, it's gorgeous. The boxing will be a problem though. I anticipate a lot of difficulty. Is boxing required? I guess we'll find out. Okay. Let's see. All right.